2, 3. Hey, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Yep.
Good to see you. I missed you. I hope you all had a great week, life, month.
Well, however long it's
However long
been.
it's
Yeah, we
been
don't
since
even
you've
know.
seen this last,
Yep. Well,
But, how you been? How's it been going, guys?
It's going
busy.
You know what? Nico kept Cooper flag thus far. We're like a week in, so not even a full week. I feel like that's a win in my case.
I just, a part of me wanted it to be butchered. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
he's right there.
It would be so easy for the scapegoat.
It'd be like if you're about to take an exam and I go, all right, the answer to 1, 2, and 3 is A. And you put C on all of them. And you're like, I gave you the answers. It's right there.
The problem is now he looks like a freaking genius for getting rid of Luka.
I'm a hometown fan.
Yeah.
Okay, we're seeing the vision. All right,
There
we
was
had a
no
1.8% chance.
There was
no
no
vision.
chance.
Okay?
Yep.
If we just want to gamble, we can gamble.
Yeah.
He's going to trade him to the Clippers for James Harden at this point. I'm not sure. That's what's going to happen.
Well, because here's the thing. It's what's so funny. He's like, sometimes you got to take risks. And it's like, bro, like 3 months ago, you did all, or 4 months ago, whatever it was, you did all this. Mm-hmm. You were hoping to still make the playoffs.
Right.
You wanted a playoff run.
Right.
And then everyone and their mom got hurt. And you're like, well, I look stupid. Like, literally, that's what it, like, because I'm still in this belief of like, everyone was shocked about Luka. But let's say you get Anthony Davis, you got everything going, and no one gets hurt.
Right.
You make a 7th seed. Let's say you make a first round run. Maybe people forgive you. But it was like instantly. There was no, because the thing is, fans want hope. Like, I'm a Celtic fan. Yes, we won a title last year. But like before then, it was like there was always that little glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we made a conference final, or we made a semifinal, we made a conference, whatever. Like, there's always hope. But with the Mavericks, it was like no hope. They lost.
Immediately everything went wrong.
It was
They lost their
terrible.
franchise player, and
He
then
couldn't even go to
everyone
the
got
court.
hurt.
Right.
They wouldn't even let him. He wouldn't even show his face at the games. They were so mad at him. He would like stand in the tunnel, just looking like he was gonna.
And they always found him too. They zoom in on him, and it's just like him looking like, uh-oh, what'd I do?
Right.
Yeah. Poor guy. Whatever. I say poor guy, and he's a millionaire. But
Yeah, I feel like
whatever.
he's probably wiping his tears with $100 bills. But you know, if he trades him, it's over.
Nah.
It's over.
No, there's no way that. At least not. You would think anytime soon. At least give him like the first half of the season.
I hope so. They're apparently going to play him at point guard. Is what now? Kidd is known to put everybody in their like experimental
Rotate,
positions,
yeah.
especially the first like third of the season. So that'll
So
be
is
interesting.
he just going to be learning behind Kyrie the whole time then?
Not even behind. Kyrie's injured.
Well, and Kyrie's
Nobody's
Kyrie's
starting
not
out.
gonna.
Not for another
Best case
year,
scenario,
that's right.
December, Christmas time.
Yeah.
Worst case, maybe January, February.
Dude, I
like,
bet it's All-Star break before we
Yeah,
even see him.
it's gonna be a
Yeah,
bit.
that's
And even
true,
like
that's true.
Anthony Davis, like he should be good to start,
Right.
but that's like
You would want to
Kobe
rest
Glass.
him though.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Well, and we've got Father Time and Klay Thompson.
Right.
So we've got an old lineup. I do think it's interesting that Cooper starting Summer off as point guard because I get him at least. Everybody knows he can dunk and do that. He's athletic, so give him do something. Lord knows shooting isn't. He's not knocked down. So
No, he needs. Here's the thing, like you need to build his strengths.
Yeah.
Build some confidence in there. Get him in there. Get him to play what he's good at.
Right. Just get
But,
minutes is the
yeah.
biggest thing
Yeah.
for any rookie.
100%. Well, ball in hand.
Oh yeah.
Make every decision.
Yeah.
Even if it's the wrong decision.
Well,
No, that's exactly early in the season when you
Yeah.
still have a lot of chance to actually make up for it. And even then, sometimes it's just all right. You make a couple literal rookie mistakes, and your veterans are there to carry you. That's the whole point.
Well, I would say even though they tried to trade him, Lakers would connect. Like they played
Yeah.
because he came in, proved himself in the summer league. They went in there, played a few regular season games. Like, oh, we can actually trust you to do stuff. So he could get you a 10 to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know when it was like whatever game it was when it was just him and Austin Reeves and he scored like 35 or almost
was great.
40. You're
Yeah.
like,
And then they
okay.
got to playoffs and they quit playing.
yeah, they're like, we don't need you connect.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, great. Yeah,
The
we'll get you
interesting
to the
part
dance.
is Flag is young, dude.
Yeah.
Like Connect came in, he was like 24.
Yeah.
He was a senior in college.
Flag's a babe.
A lot of time on the ball playing against whoever, but dude, Flag's a baby. He's barely old enough. He's what 18.
18,
Yeah.
19,
In some
something like
days, like he's barely older than LeBron or barely younger, something like that.
Oh,
he
maybe
was
one of-
just older, like by a few. I think
Right.
literal days older
Which is crazy
than LeBron.
because LeBron came from high school.
Right.
Made me want to cry because there was a quote where he's like said his favorite player growing up was Jason Tatum. And I was
Right.
like, your favorite player growing up was Jason Tatum? My God.
And to me, Jason Tatum's still the new face
Yeah.
of the
It's-
league.
But he got drafted in
he is-
2017.
Tatum's the face of the one of the faces of the new generation.
Just think about 8 years ago. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, like 8
Yeah.
years ago, I'm like, my God, I was, what, 25, 26?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
well,
25?
because when was Tatum?
2017.
2017. Yeah. Because I'm thinking like Ant was 2020 and
Wow.
Luka was
2017.
2021,
It's a long
right?
time. People forget.
Yeah,
like,
Luka was 21 or 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the
crazy.
new generation right there, quote unquote.
Well, because Tatum got drafted when it was supposed to be, when it was Kyrie, it was Gordon Hayward, it was, their new big three, and it was just like stinker, like instantly. And like, I survived that era. Like that's like, the era that was meant to be like the best ever.
Now you got to survive this next era where they've traded away pretty much the supporting cast.
I still feel good about our top 8. You know what I mean? I think we'll still be a top 8 because like fundamentals, like you'll still have like I said, Porzingis played like maybe a full year in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Drew Holiday played more, but he was still hurt a lot. He missed a lot of games. Mm-hmm. So like I'm okay. Like it hurts because they were part of the championship core, but them leaving, I'm kind of like. If they were there, they probably still wouldn't be there.
Right.
So I'm like, I'd rather this than not.
Yeah.
The part that really sucks is Tatum, but you still have Brown. Brown's good enough to carry the team. We still have Derek White for now. We still have Pritchard for now. We still have Hauser. We still have Cornette. We still have like our core. Kind
Cornette,
So for now, they had signed him, I thought, last year. So he's still on whatever contract they signed him on. So but I think they're deciding if they're going to trade him or
I thought
maybe even
all y'all centers except for the young ones were.
We need to look at. I'll fact check that later.
Yeah, we need to fact check that because I thought y'all were like.
Because I think there's because I'm pretty sure we'll still have. Well, no, you know what? I think you're right because it's like him and Horford. They're still trying to decide.
They're trying to figure out like how to.
I would do it because Horford there's not a lot of money lost.
Yeah.
No.
You have a veteran. He's now a champion. He's been in the league for 17 years. Like you have somebody you could bring in there to help your core,
right,
and not have to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
Cornette did. I think he proved himself a lot in the playoffs. And he did.
Is he starter level though?
He can be.
He can be. He has to be now.
You can't start Horford, or you could, but you're gonna have to limit minutes.
What you do is you hope that you can still maybe snag just a big dude in free agency or to trade deadline.
You know who y'all should go after? Y'all should go after Clint Capella, coming out of the Hawks as a free agent. Supposedly the Rockets are offering him, is what I heard. I don't know if they have.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because Rockets are offering a lot though for a lot
of as well.
Yeah.
You got KD, you got Sengun. And you got what is it, Jabari Parker or whatever?
Jabari. Because he just re-signed. We were looking at that.
Literally every Texas team, you're looking at a lot of fun. Yeah. A lot of fun moves.
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah, Spurs, Mavs, and it's all on. Can you stay healthy? Can you be good? Because Victor, what he left with his blood clot stuff. So I'm like, it just you never know.
That's scary.
Yeah, that could kill.
We do not want another Chris Bosh.
No.
Where all that talent, prime of your career, which Chris Bosh was maybe past the prime a little bit, but he was still really good when he had it.
And he's in a franchise that like is prestigious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the Spurs people
and
like
they were
forget.
and they're building around him too. Yeah. That's what's crazy is that they recognized his ability and wanted to build around him specifically.
Yeah, and they didn't draft like who is it? The Jazz. They drafted like 3 or 4 guards or 5 guards or whatever it was. Like they obviously have no faith in him.
No.
Spurs haven't even looked at a big man that would replace Victor at this point.
Because I think it's
they got 5 point guards.
Yeah, that's okay. It averages out.
They have enough rookie guards. They're gonna have to get rid of somebody at some point.
I think this is gonna be an interesting season for a lot of reasons. I think you're gonna see a lot of like the Lakers, right? But they were just like for like half the season they're rotating their starting 5.
Oh yeah.
They're like, can you have a starting 5 now? Because like it's changed every game.
Uh-huh.
So I think you're going to see a lot of that with everybody because it seems like almost everyone now has like a new dynamic.
Yeah.
Even like in Orlando, like they have a couple of new players, and then like
Orlando's going to be good next year.
Timberwolves, they're going to have to try some stuff out. You know?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of the same guys coming back though, and we drafted the center, so
that's good.
That's going to be interesting to see how
Gobert's
we play
like, hey.
But the problem is he's a little bit more athletic than Gobert, but he still has the same kind of athletic liabilities. But he's young, so we'll see if they can just bolster that up.
Yeah.
But I think the only one who hasn't been confirmed coming back was Walker so far.
Which is a hit because y'all's point guard is a little... Ant can score, but he's not the best
he needs that
facilitator.
He needs that playmaker to help him. We can't just run ISO every single time. That's the problem. He's not as good. Yeah, but he's not that good of an ISO. That's the problem compared to every other great ISO player.
Yeah.
No. But
and like I'm said like I just love basketball. Like I'm a Celtics fan, but I just love basketball, and so I'm ready for some of these teams that used to be so good to like even when Celtics lost, I'm like at least it was like it felt like how basketball used to feel a long time ago. Because for a while it's like dynasties are horrible. Like they're fun, but they're horrible.
Says the new Celtic dynasty.
Yeah, well, barely. We were supposed to be one.
Yeah. We got 1.5 years.
We got 1.5 years out of it.
The most winningest organization to ever exist in basketball.
That literally Vegas was like, they're going to win titles the next 6 years. Yeah. But No, but like how it used to be like in the early 2000s was like even though the Lakers were and the Spurs were kind of balancing out, like it was still like Pistons kind of threw in there. There's like some teams that we could argue, and like Knicks are starting to look better. Pacers were surprising. OKC finally has a title. Spurs, like I grew up a Spurs fan,
right?
And they've sucked for so long now that it's bummed me out.
Right.
Yeah, and then I leech onto the Mavs as my next Maverick team, and they've been getting so close. Unfortunately, the Celtics had to put them in their place. Yeah. But they were very close. But dude, and you can't tell you how many years I've said, if it's ever Celtics versus Mavericks, and and it finally got there, and I'm like, damn it. It actually happened. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
It's always great in word and spirit, but all of a sudden when it actually happens, you're like, there's lines that need to be drawn.
And I was saying it because I'm like, there's no way it's going to happen. It's like the odds of that,
absolutely,
matchup happening.
Especially that matchup.
I'm like, it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the first time I ever got to see Celtics live in a playoff game is like insane to me. I'm like, I never in a million years thought like that would be the.
That's a crazy setup, yeah.
So it's wild, and because of you now I've had to watch Timberwolves more than I've ever had, and like it makes me mad for the fact of like Ant's starting to really frustrate me, and I can't. I'm like I like Ant, and he's frustrating me so much.
You like it when it's just an objective, like he's over there. You can just analyze as a not. You have no skin in the game.
And now that I'm like rooting for them for you, I'm like, bro, Ant makes me so mad.
Oh, yeah.
Like Connolly over there disintegrating at the stands. And he's like, I'm young, bro.
Don't worry.
And Connolly's just
for Connolly. That's all we're doing.
And Connolly's just dust.
Welcome to my heartbreak as a Minnesota anything fan, just because that's what it always is. Even with the Vikings, it's always the same kind of deal where like you have all of it. We have arguably some of the greatest receiving cores in the last few years.
Had great teams.
Yeah, we've had top running backs. We've had top receiving cores.
Yep.
We've had just missing the quarterback of like a steady quarterback. We have on paper should be the great quarterback.
Yep.
And then they just don't show up.
It's crazy. And like, honestly, I have a Minnesota Vikings jersey because when it was Favre was still the quarterback for a little bit because I was rooting for him.
He threw his best numbers that year.
I knew like Cowboys never win it, right?
No,
I always root for them. I always hope for it.
Yeah,
I always hope for it.
Yeah.
But like that was the year I was straight Minnesota. I was like I was going for them. They were so close.
I'm always gonna be salty about
when
that.
they lost. I couldn't believe it. I was like because it was the Saints, right?
Bounty Gate. Yep.
Yeah, I was like I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
I'm like oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's like been a curse. Like that. Because they've still had good teams and they lose every time they're supposed to win.
It was because that was Adrian Peterson. Was that coming after that was his ACL redemption year? Or was that 2 years after that?
It was. I think
it was right after that. I think
it was
right after.
I think it was 2 years after his ACL.
Y'all had a really good backup running back.
Yeah, it was great.
Gerhardt.
Yeah.
Supposed to be like the next best thing since Peterson, and then y'all lost him.
Yep.
Now, fortunately, when y'all lost him, he immediately got a career-ending injury.
And you're like, yikes.
Yeah, he hurt his foot, and never ran before. But he was supposed to take Peterson's spot. That was like y'all's plan.
Yeah.
And it looked so good.
Right.
It looks so
We're
good.
gonna have a lot of football
on
talk
paper. Yeah, that's exactly. But that's on paper. Every Minnesota team looks like they should be fantastic, and then something happens.
Hey, listen, Cowboys never win. I understand that, but we have had some teams over the years where we've put out killer stats.
Yep.
We hit some runs.
We've had some great teams.
Beat some teams, and it's like we could do this. Exit first round.
Yep.
Well, because our equivalent to that Favre game was the drop ball with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Like it was like
is it a catch? Is it not a catch?
We had finally had a team that was Super Bowl worthy.
Yep.
We got destroyed by that, and it just was ruined.
Tanked from there. Yep.
It was just never the same.
Yep.
So I already have in my calendar. Week 13 is the one we got to watch. Seahawks versus Minnesota.
Seahawks versus Minnesota.
Yeah, the revenge game on that
Darnold
one.
versus Minnesota.
But that's also the thing is that we went 13-4 and then lost in the first round.
And then,
like that's insane.
I empathize with your pain, buddy.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of my life. Because I was born the year the Cowboys last won. So I grew up in a Cowboys household where it was like, we're America's team. We won 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
And it just keeps adding up.
It just keeps going. And
I blame Caitlin, which is my wife, for all those out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she was born the same year, and I was like, there's a little fishy that won since you were born.
Anybody born that year is immediately suspect.
Yeah, it's like you did it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
In all fairness, we haven't even sniffed the opening ceremony of a Super Bowl since the '60s. So
I can hold to the fact that at least we got 5 of the suckers.
Yeah.
Even if it was forever ago.
Chicago Bulls have been living on the 6 of the championships they have their entire
crazy?
their entire existence.
That is no offense to Chicago fans. That is a dumpster fire of an organization
It
right
is.
now.
They
are
horrible.
still
They just picked up
top 5 in revenue every year as a team. Oh my
God.
Which
They're
is
living off
wild
Michael
because
didn't they just trade Lonzo?
yeah, they traded
Yeah.
Lonzo
to Cleveland.
which
Yeah.
they did get a good young player, which I think the trade made sense for both teams because Cleveland gave up a young player who they don't need the time that he's going to be there necessarily because they're in a win now mode anyway. If Lonzo's healthy, he provides more.
Yes.
And Okoro wasn't going to get the play time that was necessary. Chicago has watched Lonzo sit on the bench for 400 games or something. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're healthy enough to be traded. Get going.
It's like I look at it in my mind. I equate it to when Celtics traded Terry Rozier to Charlotte.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, because like Rozier just sat on the bench and played every now and then with Boston. Didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Had glimmers, and they put him to Charlotte, and he was like just dominating.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
He's a tank commander, you know?
Yeah.
100%.
But there's sports is weird because we're in this weird lull, but there's
Yeah.
so much that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like Summer League for basketball is getting ready to start in like a few weeks,
Yep.
which I watch.
That's
every
always
now and
fun to
then.
watch, just for the
see who's coming.
yeah.
They try out their newbies, they try out their rookies or draft picks.
Yep.
So that's always fun. We'll eventually do fantasy again for football. We'll get that
Yeah.
going and see who's going on. So I'm like, baseball will end at some point.
Yeah.
Baseball's got 10 more years left.
We've got tons of games left.
Speaking of
Doesn't matter what
disappointing,
happens
the
right now.
Twins are right now, at least last time I checked, we're on a 13 out of 16 games lost.
Really?
It's
Wow.
bad. Yeah.
Pretty bad.
We were doing well, too. We were keeping up with like the Rangers right in
Yeah.
the middle of the pack,
That's how
and all of a
Rangers
sudden
do.
it just started.
Dude.
Can't.
Rangers will be leading the division and then be down like 13
That's
games.
that's the Twins. Like, we'll start terrible, get good in the middle of the season, and then around end of summer, provided we're early now,
Right.
but it just starts just trailing off, and then no hope.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Now, I don't watch a lot of baseball. I'm not going to lie. Ranger fan, go Rangers. But did you see Ohtani threw 101.7?
Yes.
Was it his debut game back pitching?
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
Full innings? Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Because he had what was it, Tommy John
Tommy
surgery?
Jones, yep.
And
He's
that's
hitting and
scary.
pitching as good as he was before.
yeah, like the hitting,
That's
honestly.
incredible.
Dude, I don't know if he put on size or something. That man can hit the
You
ball.
almost,
It
I
feels
feel
like
like you
even
have
better.
to, with that sort of injury, like you almost have to probably put on.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like if you're doing rehab, anybody with rehab usually comes back stronger
Yeah.
than before because you're focusing all of your effort on getting your body back.
Well,
to
and
it.
you're
not worried about games.
Yeah.
You have no off time. It's
Yep.
just you're concentrating solely on getting your body strengthened.
And when you look at their rehab schedules, dude, they sleep and like for the recovery side.
Yes,
of
they're actually
things, we are scheduling sleep so you can recover. I don't
That's
care what you
exactly
were doing
it.
at 3
Because that's the
p.m.
thing
on a
with like,
Tuesday.
and I think that's part of the reason why basketball and football are having so many injuries.
Yeah.
Because they're lengthening seasons.
Yep.
They're lengthening game times. They're or like play times.
Exactly.
And so you have all of these players stressing every part of their body where they can't keep a healthy team because of how much they're getting. So much stress on all the hamstrings, all of the
Achilles at this
all the
point.
Achilles, all the ACLs and everything.
It's like what was it when they were asking him about the all the ACL, the Achilles tears, right? And he's like, nothing's changed. It's all the same. And I'm like, you added an in-season tournament.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, did you forget that?
Like, you added more reason for players to
games.
play harder in the
we used to
in
have
the
less
games.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have less. In
And
fact,
then-
they did a study, or they did a stat that came out on ESPN. 350% increase year to year. And they looked at every player, more or less, that had an Achilles injury. Every one of them played Olympic ball, which means no off season. You go straight
Yep.
from season
I can believe that.
to Olympics
Yep.
or something like that, and then you go or nationals team, whatever, and then you go right back into NBA season.
And then NBA season, they're doing not
Jason
necessarily
Tatum
bet.
and Halliburton.
Yeah, I was saying
Yeah.
I can't speak for.
They're doing every other game now though too as well. And so it's like, speaking of the rest time, they're not
Yeah.
getting there. They're going from a home game, go to an away game.
Yep.
Or vice versa, do an away game, have to immediately travel back to a
there's
home
no rest,
game,
There's no like.
or be even back to back away
Because even like
games.
Tatum, they won the title, so they played well into June.
Yes.
Then like had a month off, and then went straight into prep for
Intense
the
ball,
Olympics, and that took until August, and then you had the Olympics end, and then it was the new season. It's like, so I'm not shocked he got hurt. Like Derek White and every those guys, like I'm surprised. Like Holiday,
Yeah.
no friggin' wonder he got hurt. Dude.
Yeah,
like he
yeah.
barely played any this season. And it's because of that.
And then same with like Curry, not as intense, but with his hamstring thing, it's like he had just come off of the same schedule and then went
tired.
from a game 7 where they played intense ball
Yep.
immediately going into another series 2 days later. Like,
Well, and to be fair, Curry would have been at the same risk I think Halliburton was, because Halliburton had just a strain,
Yeah.
like a, graded strain on that calf. Goes into the next game, tears the Achilles. Curry set it out, and everybody was kind of like, should he come back? Should he not? No, this is what happens.
Could you
He
imagine,
knew
like,
better.
let's play the what if game. What if Golden State had won against Minnesota?
He would have been back.
And he would have been back. But that's my point. He's coming off of a very, probably severe hamstring injury.
Yeah.
And then you're coming back and making him play the next series. Because obviously you know he's not going to sit.
At playoff intensity.
At playoff intensity.
It's not like I'm
Yeah.
playing the Orlando Magic,
No.
on a,
Like,
back-to-back
honestly,
where I'm going to play 10 minutes, sit for 20.
My what if call is he probably would have gotten like maybe a career-ending injury at that point if he had
100%.
kept playing.
He and I think he's been able, like, he's earned the right to be like, look, no. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you'll get coaches being like, you got to play.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Halliburton, I almost feel like, but I'm not saying people push him necessarily, but
Yeah.
there's probably a little
The
more
Hallie
pressure
hate,
there.
for those who say he's not a superstar, you know what I'm saying? Hallie, I got you. Don't
Bro,
worry
he ain't
about
no superstar, brother.
it. He's a brother. Listen, if you
His
were in that
legs
game,
proved- his
Game
legs
7 would have been
proved it.
different. All right? Game 7 proved it. They need you.
His
But,
Achilles proved he's not one.
okay, so here's a question, because this player gets a ton of hate for limiting minutes just for this reason. Is Kawhi, did he earn his spot to limit his minutes so he could be playoff ready?
Yeah, because he has championships with the Spurs, and then he led a team on his own to a
Yeah.
title. Like, without him, Toronto would not have won.
Oh, of
They
course
needed,
not.
they needed.
And to be
Kawhi
fair-
they needed him.
By the skin of their teeth did they win.
Yeah.
'Cause that
Yeah.
one bounce
Yep.
could have changed the world.
Yep.
That, can you imagine?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of What Ifs, like that Disney series What
Yeah.
If,
Yep.
about Marvel and stuff. I'm like, what if he shot, missed, and 76ers won? Would
Yeah.
they have won
Yep.
the title that year?
Dude, there's a good chance.
Because that was
And
a great 76ers
Poor Paul
team.
George's whole legacy would have been different.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was the year with Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They had Jimmy too.
With Jimmy, so
Before he went to Miami, yeah.
that's and Joel Embiid. Every one of those players' legacy would have been.
Mr. Trust the
shattered.
process over
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Well,
Well, Embiid, that's the
James
best
Harden
version
would
of
have
Embiid,
burned
yeah.
the league down because
Yeah.
he had just left Philly, right?
Oh my gosh,
The year before?
yes.
Or
Yeah, that would have been.
he had left Philly not long
Recently,
before
though,
that.
yeah. Soon
Philly
enough
was
for
after. Philly was after that because that's when they changed all sorts of stuff.
Is that how they wait?
Because Jimmy wasn't there with.
Yeah, they didn't
No,
play on
but
the
did
same.
Harden leave before that issue? But he was still in Houston.
He was still in
Yeah.
Houston.
He was in
He went
Houston.
there afterwards.
He
yeah.
went
This
there
close.
afterwards. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's crazy, dude.
dude. Yeah.
Look at all these teams that that just shows you. I think everyone's talking about how like the super teams or the big threes are done, and it's like, dude, yeah, because you'll get like Clippers right now. I get there's
Yeah.
a lot of people in the market, but you can't build around him.
You want
No.
my take on why is because nobody plays like actual friendly ball anymore. The reason I think the last big three that was truly great was the Miami big three because they had fun playing ball with the three of them. They understood that the three of them were each their individual players. They knew how to play ball together like enjoyably,
Right.
and could feed off each other.
I would say Golden State.
You could, but so that was the same era. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
So, but same to the same point,
Right.
You know, they all knew, and even with KD, they all knew they had their individual roles.
Yeah.
They enjoyed playing ball with each other and could feed off each other.
Yeah.
Every big three now is just all right. You're a big name. You're a big name. You're a big name. Good luck.
Yeah.
And they're just you're
played-
trying. You're trying to play ISO
played their
ball
roles.
with every single
Right.
big player, and you're not actually. To me, the purpose of a big three is to do exactly that: is have fun playing three-man
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
You're essentially playing a three-man tournament, you know, with two extra wing guys.
Which a lot of teams had. Like, I'll be honest, Phoenix had it on paper
Yeah.
with what was it, Booker, Beal, KD, and before that they had
Shoot.
Chris Paul was there.
CP.
The Nuggets right now, technically, if you
but they won it once at least.
yeah, but I'm talking about like right now. At least that was like they won it off of Joker's back though.
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause
Jamal Murray.
Jamal
had
was
a-
banking,
But that was
career
two, not
playoff
three
run.
though. Gordon still wasn't there as a.
But Michael Porter Jr. also had probably his best playoff run
True.
ever.
What's the
in
people?
that.
I just love when people have bad games. Now they're like,
Yeah.
he's clearly gambling.
Yeah.
Because do you see all the things
Malik
about Porter Jr.?
Beasley?
Yes.
Malik Beasley came out today. He's being invested for games all the way back.
I saw that. Yes.
I'm like,
wow,
jeez, dude.
On the back, poor guy. On the back of him being offered his best contract yet. I bet this hurts his contract.
Oh,
I don't
for
know
sure.
if it does. I haven't seen.
I think it'll only hurt him
Comes
if
out
it
true.
comes out that's
Yeah.
true. You know what I mean? They'll investigate.
But
And-
even on like the negotiation table, man, you lose some leverage when.
Yeah.
Hey man,
At least he
bump
was already
me up a few
off.
mil.
At least he's already offered it though, and not
Was
like
he officially offered it?
I don't know.
I know he was.
numbers
It was either
came
rumor,
out,
yeah.
yeah.
It was I know there was expected. I don't know if it was offered.
I'm sure there's
yet, but
probably
either way.
emails that have
Yeah.
gone back and forth
Oh,
at some
for
point.
sure.
He's like, I
between
got my
him and an agent.
receipts.
Yeah.
I got my first offer.
That's the thing. We don't see the going back and forth between organization and agent
Right.
though too. For all we know, it could have been happening a month ago.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, what's this number look like? And then now that it comes out, it's like, hey, let's lower
Yeah.
that number down a little bit more.
And he's like, it just bums me out, all these players, because I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Like, you're making more money, even if you're like a lower tier player.
Gotta be
you're
bored,
making more.
you know?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Like at that point, I'm like, maybe if you don't have a lot of minutes, and you're like, I just need to do. You're like, I'm not doing anything, so I just
right.
need to do something with myself. I'll just bet against us.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because a tweet came out. Now, I don't think these are related at all because the timelines don't line up. But after it happened, somebody posted a clipped tweet of his where he was challenging Anthony Edwards to shoot 7 threes more, so he could beat him on the scorers thing. He's like, "Why were you wanting Ant to beat
taking
his
over under on that one?
Yeah. You know, hey, we were betting on you being on this level.
Right.
We need you to come down one notch.
Do you see the clip that's been going around too about it? It was like he was like, it was like they were losing by like, I don't know who they were playing, but they were down by like 5 or 6 points with like 5 seconds left. And he got the rebound. They missed the free throw, and he caught it and ran. He hauled ass to the end of the court and dunked it with 5 seconds left, and they still lost anyway. And they're like, he was running like he had something to lose.
Yeah,
he
something to
had
on that one.
to hit the parlay. It was just so
Interesting.
funny.
Jordan won a lot of games for gambling, so you know, maybe it's.
See, it's like
that's what's amazing.
I
too.
don't think I have a problem as long as you're betting your team to win. Like, for example, Pete Rose, that whole thing.
Yeah.
He always bet on his team to win. He has one of his statements in his later days. He was like, I had no problem betting. It was I was always betting to win. So I would do everything in my power to win.
Yeah, because
Like,
if you do to lose, because if you
bet to lose and you're shaving points, then yeah, sure, that's a whole different thing.
It becomes such a slippery slope.
Oh, absolutely.
It becomes such a slippery
Absolutely.
slope.
I'm just
Hey,
saying,
but
me personally,
refs-
I have nothing wrong with betting to win.
I'm convinced all the refs are gambling.
Yeah.
100%.
At this point, they're all gambling.
If not all of them,
name?
I'll give a high, at least 75% of them.
What is
Scott Foster?
No, he's the current one. The one there was a ref that got banned for gambling.
Yeah, he came out with like books and stuff. Or not no books, but plenty of
I
interviews.
might be the wrong talking head, but I think it's Tim Donaghy or something like that.
something like that.
I don't remember the name, but yes.
But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I can tell you matchups who's winning.
Yeah.
Well, and then you see those clips come out where like refs are just calling wild stuff, laughing on the bench. Tech.
Yep.
It's like, come on.
Like,
That is all right. So in any sport, especially basketball and baseball, I really think that the refs' egos got to be knocked down quite a few pegs. Because
Definitely baseball.
Because if
Baseball
you
for
can,
sure.
if you can just
Umpires are broken.
if a manager can just stand up and immediately the ref goes, "You're out," like what in the world? Or he says one sly off comment and you go, "Nope, that's it, you're done." Like,
or even better,
what?
I don't know if y'all saw this clip that came out. I don't know if it was this season or last season. A fan yelled something.
Yes.
The ump thought it was a player, kicked the player out of the dugout.
Yeah.
And the player's just like,
Wouldn't
I
it
didn't do
Luka?
anything.
no. This was a baseball player.
Oh,
Out of
okay.
the
I was like,
dugout.
didn't Luka? That happened to Luka too.
No, but
He's like, wasn't me.
who's the ref that said, "Don't even look at me"?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was like, the fact that he said, "Don't even look at me." I'm like, and he's like, "I'm not. I'm
And I'll be
looking in
honest.
your direction." And it's like,
This is worse than being incompetent. Like Angel Hernandez,
Yeah.
incompetent at his job. Okay,
Yep.
right. It's one thing to just be wrong. It's another thing to just be egotistical and wrong.
I mean, the catcher could catch it out here, strike down the middle, buddy.
Yeah.
That's just incompetence.
You're
Like,
like,
you don't understand what a
There's,
strike
at
zone
least
is.
he was consistent in being incompetent.
Yes.
It wasn't like there were some games he was on the dot. It was just as a whole. It
He
was
just was bad regardless.
right.
Yeah, I feel like basketball has
just-
always been a little shady, but I
Yeah.
feel like lately it has been kind of bad. Because like
been bad.
there's been because what it is, it's not about the calls during the game. It's about the calls that cause the game to win. or
Right.
lose.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been more like bad calls deciding games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where you're like, okay, that's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, if one call, like what was it in the playoffs? What game was it when he shot a 3? And he clearly got knocked over and they lost by 2.
Oh.
And she should have shot three free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the game.
And it was
but
like
I know,
clearly
Yeah.
knocked to his ass.
I mean, there
And
was
they didn't
a
call.
couple highlights from the finals where I think the one of the last game where somebody was literally grabbing an arm.
He was holding his
ref
arm.
was right there, and it's just he was dribbling the ball, arm was being held, and looking at the ref, going, "You're gonna do anything?"
That was,
Yeah, you
stolen dunk.
TJ McConnell.
Yes.
That's who
Yes.
it was.
Yes.
Played his heart out, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's literally holding hands with defense, and he's like,
Yeah. And
Anything?
dribbling one hand, hand is clearly here, being held, and the ref is direct eyesight. They're at midcourt.
Yeah.
It's not like they're in the middle of the paint.
Yeah, no.
It's like they're at the top of the court, and there's nobody else around them.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it was the Detroit game.
yeah.
I didn't think.
Oh, with
yeah, I didn't
Detroit?
think about
Yeah.
that because they was them. Was it Knicks? Who did they play?
maybe. I mean, it was the East, so I
don't even know who they
remember.
played.
Yeah.
Whatever. But like, had they
It's
won that,
Detroit.
it would have been a game 7, I think. So I
Yeah.
think it literally was like a series deciding
Yeah.
call. You're like, bro, you decided a series by just being like, nah,
No,
we're
not
good.
Right.
We're good. And then I hate when they do their statement too. I think what pisses me off more is the statement.
The last 2
the
minutes.
refs admitted there was 25 missed calls during the game, and you're like,
come on.
what?
I really think, and I would love for them to institute this because it makes no sense how it isn't. They do a last 2 minute report anyway. Demote refs.
Absolutely.
It's very simple. All right,
Absolutely.
you obviously suck as a head ref.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
you
you
missed
get-
every call.
Fine them for
It's
every
like,
missed
yeah,
call.
you have
not even
X
fine.
amount of threshold. Yeah.
You are now a line judge, or
Yeah,
instead of
you're-
head
oh,
judge,
now
line
you,
judge. Yeah.
oh, buddy, it didn't work. You're back in
Yeah,
the
get out.
D1.
Yeah.
It's like
You can't work at D1. Go to D2.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you're no longer, like, you're up in the playoffs. You're no
Yep.
longer to work playoffs. You're only
That's
season
interesting. They
regular
should do
season.
that.
Yeah, sure.
You find
Why
players for
don't
literally
they?
everything. They
Literally
scoff at the refs to get fined
everything.
50 grand.
Now, players get to fly private jets. The refs are on coach, so there is some
That's why they're like,
variance.
they're like, I get the soggy little peanuts
Yeah.
in the back and you live in front.
But I also think that there should be more technology implemented as well. We are in a state where you can put sensors on everything
I
that
feel like
do
basketball
not
is hard to
affect.
do that with.
You can, but at very least you
Because
can.
a lot of it's body contact.
That's true, but
which
you can
becomes
put
subjective.
you can put sensors on rims for
Yeah.
your goaltending or
Yeah.
your different calls like
Well,
that.
I feel like games are like, because I agree. The only problem is I feel like games are slowing down so much already because like everything they
true.
can check. So I'm trying to think like
At
how
lea-
could they implement that to
At
not
very
make
least,
it even
Yeah.
my
slower.
biggest
Exactly.
stickler football. At very least,
Yeah.
you
Football
can
makes sense.
you can
It's
put
already
some,
slow.
It's
Yeah.
already slow.
Exactly. It's
You
already a
can-
slow-paced
you- They're
game.
already scrutinizing every down.
Yeah.
So at that point, put a sensor in the ball, and then you never have to worry about how far did the ball get on any given. There's guys that are 350 pounds diving on the ball. You cannot tell me that every ref can go right there. That's
Yep.
where the ball stops.
Well, in a game where an
BS.
inch makes a difference.
Exactly.
It's not like, to be fair, in basketball,
Yeah.
like, okay, if I'm here or
Like
I'm
move
there.
the chains at that point, and
doesn't
you have
matter.
your card. Like
All of football is fighting over this much space.
exactly.
Like, you got the tush push. We're literally going to 8-man crush on top and
yeah,
hope
you're
the ball moves.
scrumming it
Just hoping
across.
it's
That's
there.
exactly it.
Yeah.
So-
or the what is that? The college football highlight where like they're moving the chains.
Oh, yeah.
and it's like there, and then it goes just a little
Yeah.
bit further over,
Yep.
and it's like you're using a credit card.
Yeah.
To do that, to spot something that he eyeballed from 15 yards away.
It is.
Like-
I just love the cartoon factor of like a ref out there in football. He's
Yeah.
like a little magnifying glass. He's like,
Right.
"All
Yeah.
right,
And then
that's
so like
it."
to double down on that, you could put sensors tips of the guy's shoes, put it
Something.
on the edge of the line.
Yeah.
Did he cross the line? You
Yeah.
could put it sensor the ball in the gloves. Did he have full control on both?
I'll be honest, that goes
Like-
too far because I think it'll slow the game down too much. A sensor in the ball seems so simple. Did it cross the plane?
because there's a way to do
Yeah,
it
that's
without
simple.
it like changing the
But-
weight of the ball.
but that's
and
but to my
gonna be a
point,
way
it's
to
like
do
at
it.
very least
No,
the shoes.
Listen, Brady
and-
changes the weight of every ball, doesn't he?
That's true.
But like to the shoes
Brady's
and the
gonna go
gloves and the ball, three things
Yeah.
that you're gonna have on no matter what anyway.
Now,
and
if one player catches the other player, does that count as an interception? All right, because I'm still salty about it. So I need some sensors to clear this up for me.
there are
awesome.
extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, right.
But that's like my hill of like you
Yeah.
can easily implement those types of things
Yeah.
100%.
to make a lot of those calls in football
There's
that
ways,
much
there's
better.
ways to make it better. I
Yeah.
think right now refs are just so like, it's the fact that like, also it's like what is it like I don't know how old the average age is for the refs in like NBA, but like you get these
think
guys
pretty
that
old,
like
middle age.
this is
Yeah.
25 year or
Yeah,
25th
like they're
year as a
40 years
coach, and
old,
like,
yeah.
like it's nothing not to be ageist
I
or
will
anything,
say-
but like come on.
Refing is hard.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I ref
yo.
middle school basketball. Even at middle school basketball, whatever call I made, half the gym loved me, half the gym hated me. I could see the call, I could make the call. I'd be like, that is a beautiful call. I called that perfectly. I would get cussed out all the way down the floor. It did not matter. So I will say,
Oh yeah.
I get it. Now that being said, when I was coaching, I was yapping at the ref all the way down the floor. I had
Yep.
no sympathy.
Yep.
I think what it is, it's like how do you limit the really obvious, like the really obvious?
Yeah, the really obvious.
Because like you said, I in a million like no part of me would ever want to be a ref because
Yeah.
I know it's hard. And honestly, especially in ones where it's like that Detroit call, the buzzer run out. So if you call free throws, you literally it's like if you said it was a
Yeah,
foul,
right.
you could have you decided that game regardless.
Yeah.
But I'd rather decide the game and leave it up to the player to shoot 3 free throws,
Right.
than not call it and be like, oh, I should have called
It's
it.
also the
Should've called
standard of like, all right, there's your regular season ball and your postseason ball. It's like, at what point are you going to start that
Yep.
change where, like, all right, are you going to start calling them hard? Or are you going to start calling them easy?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to let
How
something go?
often can Lou Dort run through somebody? before they
Exactly.
call a
Yeah.
foul?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I get you can't call everything. Like, you can't see everything.
No.
Like, every
No.
push, every hand slap.
And I like a little more physical play. I do.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it goes a little crazy in the playoffs sometimes. Some
was
players,
intense,
Dre, Lou, they get a little crazy out there.
Crazy out there. It's
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, Draymond Green, when he retires, goes straight to WWE, bro.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
He's got the Ric Flair like groin kick down. He's gonna go.
He already can just kick you in where the sun don't shine. So it'll be he'll end up being the next like Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna go to
for
commentating
sure.
on his
easily.
podcast.
And honestly,
he's such a character.
Pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah,
such a
for
character.
making hot statements, he's great at it, you know.
Yeah.
And back on wrestling, WWE 2K, you can play as Halliburton and Brunson.
Really?
They
Really?
made him part of the DLC.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play as my short king Brunson.
Yeah, Short King,
He
baby.
gives us short, tubby people hope.
He's just so dense.
He is.
He's just
listen,
a dense guy.
He plays to his strengths. All right.
Yeah, he
you
does.
know?
That's all you need.
Always loved it.
No.
All right, I do have a question.
Okay.
This is from I don't know if y'all are familiar. Y'all should get familiar. Club 520 podcast. I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's a basketball podcast. It was either them or Gil's Arena. I don't remember which now. Now I'm
But
saying that.
Shout out both of them, though.
Yeah, shout out both
Yeah.
them. This is Gil's Arena because it's Kenyon Martin and Nick
Okay.
Young.
Yo, Kenny Martin.
Okay, Kenyon Martin made 2 finals back to back, lost in both, but he was the dog. He was everything. Scored, defended.
Nuggets, right?
Nuggets, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who he played
sounds
for.
right.
I'm like, because I
Yeah.
think he played with Carmelo. I think he was part of
Did
that
Carmelo make the finals?
team. No.
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 So who did he play with then? interesting.
It was him. He was like the guy. I don't know who their main
That's
scorer was.
interesting. Yeah. Okay.
But
Shout out.
lost both times in the finals. I'm pretty sure like gentleman's sweep 4-1 once, and then came back and got like 4-2.
Poor guy.
Nick Young, whole career, not a lot of winning
No.
at all. Joins the Golden State Warriors as a backup corner shooter, catches a ring.
Isn't that amazing?
Which would we rather be? Because they both had about 15-year careers.
If I'm the two of them, if I had to pick, I'd rather be Nick Young.
Yeah.
With the ring.
With a ring, for sure.
Because right now I think we're gonna slowly see a shift just based on how many people have been complaining.
Yeah.
But the ring culture matters so much that he can go, bro, I got a championship.
That's exactly what he does.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Pisses Kenyon Martin
Yeah.
off the whole time.
Because he knows it will.
I mean,
Because-
that's the whole thing between Shaq and Chuck.
Charles, yeah.
How many rings, Chuck? How many
Yeah.
rings?
Because if Charles had at least one, then he could at least be like, I got one.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's like he has none. He had a
Yeah.
great career, Hall of Fame career. He's such a good player. It has nothing to
I'll
show
be
for
honest, that's the one argument that I always hate versus the LeBron MJ.
goat,
Because it's like, what's that Jason Segal quote? I was like, it's the only argument you ever
Yeah.
need. And I was like, no, it's not.
Yep.
For the best player. There's a lot of other arguments you
It's a
can
lot.
make for that whole debate. But
Yeah.
it's like, that culture of, all right, you need a ring to be successful. I'm like, because that really is the argument. It's like, would you rather be the better player with no ring,
Right.
or would you rather be a adequate player
Yeah.
with a ring?
Because I think
Now, Nick Young did have one good point I will give and I bring up is he said, you could have done the same thing late in your career. You didn't have to write it out. Because he wasn't, nobody's that guy there last year. Most
No.
likely. Like, if you have a long career, you ain't that guy
No.
last year. Most likely. Shaq, Chuck, even Yao Ming himself. All these big guys, it does not matter your last year. You moving like a tank.
I would argue
just
like the
veteran
Rondo
on
being going to Miami for that championship run.
Rondo.
No, Ray Allen. Sorry.
Oh.
With Allen being at the end of his career, near the end of his career at that point,
Yeah.
goes to Miami.
because I think he only
picks up a ring.
because he won with
yeah,
Boston.
that was
yeah.
well, think about it. He was a Timberwolf.
Yeah.
Or no,
No,
he
He
was
was
a Buck.
Sonic.
he was a
Sonic.
Buck and then a
One of the other
then
other
Boston.
northern
Yeah.
states
Yeah.
that nobody knows about.
provided he won with y'all though.
Yeah, he
right?
won with Boston
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
played two more, like another year or two.
Yeah.
And then won 2 more rings,
Yeah.
played 1 more year, and then retired.
Yeah,
that was
like
it.
he knew he was at the
Yeah.
end of his career. He
Yeah.
knew Boston wasn't going to give it to him.
And he was a still but he was still a dominant player. Like he's the reason they won the second one.
right.
He
Or the
was.
first
But he was old, so he
Yeah.
wasn't getting all. He couldn't.
No.
He knew he couldn't get the
He
minutes.
wasn't the Boston
but he
round.
was clutch
He
enough.
was dominant. This is the great part about a situation like that, which I think there is merit to say that. Listen, you got to know, part of it's knowing your personnel as a coach, but also as a player, knowing your personnel literally. Not everybody's the carry guy.
no.
There's only like, out of how many teams are there? 32 teams? Like 16 real carry guys.
How much are you riding your ego at that
Yeah,
point? Like
because
that.
Ray Allen, in fact, with the Bucks, that's what he did. They built a team. They got the young guys. He was trying to. It It wasn't
Didn't
working.
work. No.
And he was good, dude. Like, he was great.
Because even Ray Allen, because like people like, I mean, as a Boston fan, like Ray Allen was still the third option for that Celtic team.
Oh, yeah.
Because Paul Pierce was your first, Garnett was your second, Pierce was your third,
Yeah.
and you run it through Rondo. Like
Yeah.
Rondo was the one who led it.
Rondo
So,
was
like,
a facilitator.
yeah, and then your fifth person didn't matter. You threw in a Brian Scalabrine.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
The White
the White
Mamba.
Mamba.
The legend.
So it didn't even
The
matter.
legend.
I love Brian Scalabrine. I'm sorry. Every now and then I'll listen to Boston radio because he's on there, and I'm like, that's my boy. Just on that. Or like an Eddie House or something like that, Tony Allen. Like you rotate those guys out in your fifth, and then that's your four.
Right.
I'm like, so it really didn't matter. But
Well,
Ray
in
was
role
still
players,
option.
it's common to like check your ego,
Yeah.
contribute to the team.
That's
so it's interesting.
that's the other another way of phrasing that. It's like I'd rather be a role player on a great team than being a star on a not as great team.
I feel like it's an era of your career type argument.
Yeah.
Young, go for gold.
Yeah.
Right. It's like when you're young, you take
He was in an era that's like just getting a championship.
go for gold, right? I'm the guy. I'm going to do it. And he had the skill sets to get there at least, which is crazy. But when you get older, you got to start playing. Hey man, Father Time's not on the side. I'm not what I used to be.
Yep.
Because look at Kuzma. Kuzma has a championship.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is he doing now? Not a damn thing.
Right.
So it's like he has this one. He's like, bro, I got one.
Yep.
Like Caruso for a bit. That was he like
Yep.
he left and was like kind of just moving around for a little bit.
Right.
And now he has his second title. And this one he's like he's taunting. He's
Yeah.
like, I got two. It's because now he can go. The other one matters, but like he has one.
Yeah.
Right.
So like it just in the ring culture, I think you want to be the Nick Young versus the Kenyon Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. KD got a lot of hate. He gave it a good college try at OKC.
He knew
Oh,
what he was
absolutely he did.
It
Like,
didn't work out.
Yeah.
Listen, I need my rings. This is going to affect my legacy. I'm gonna go get me a few.
I think he jumped around a little bit too much for like everyone likes to
Because it was OKC.
to give him credit for.
Straight from OKC, he went to
Golden State.
To Golden State,
Then
yeah.
to Phoenix.
Brooklyn.
That's only 3 teams.
Well, he went to Brooklyn.
To Brooklyn, sat out for
God.
He was
know
there.
about
He was there for
Brooklyn.
a few years.
yeah because
3 or
he
4
didn't
years.
play in Brooklyn.
He barely played, but when he did
that
play,
was a weird time where nobody was playing.
Nobody was playing in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I
then
wouldn't
went to
play in
Phoenix.
Brooklyn either.
Yeah.
Yeah, then went to Phoenix, and then now he's with Houston.
Yeah.
Now he's with Houston, which the Houston doesn't bother me because Phoenix front office is
Well,
awful.
At
They've been
this point,
awful
it's just
for a
kind of
long
like
time.
it's just kind of like whatever. Like him
Yeah.
going to Houston, like great for him. But this, I have another hot take conversation. You ready?
Oh, I can't wait.
You ready for this one? So, KD, is he your first option
Now,
in his career?
yes.
In
his career,
Because here's
absolutely.
okay, but what has it gotten him? He wasn't the first option in Golden State.
Well, but
That's a hot take in and of itself.
That's what I'm
People
saying.
will debate that.
yeah.
He was so I think he maybe the playoffs, right?
Sure.
But for the seasons, like overall,
Yeah.
Curry was your number one option.
Right.
yeah, but
Your number two is
But
KD.
that's a skewed.
He was the first option in everywhere
I
he
think
went.
that's a skewed argument because you already had the greatest 3-point shooter of all time.
Yeah.
In Curry, any other team at that time, KD's your first option.
let's really look at his situation.
excluding LeBron as well.
Yeah.
If LeBron and Steph are on any other team, KD's your first option if it's not them.
But I mean, you look at any other. Really consider the teams. OKC, he was first option, and they made a legitimate run at it. They played in a hard era in the
Yeah.
West. And then what? He went to Golden State, where playoff he was probably the first option for at least
probably
one of the
for
reasons.
okay. So let's
Brooklyn. Listen, all 15 players set Brooklyn. So they were playing people out the stands.
Yeah.
And then Phoenix, he was first option, but Phoenix organization is not good.
No.
So would you treat it so yeah, I just was curious what y'all would say.
Yeah.
Now, 'Cause
Now
it's
in
like,
Houston, now he's old.
so let's say KD in the past
gotta protect
8
those
years
Achilles.
then, because that gives you his Brooklyn, his Phoenix,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
Houston. So KD, would you still keep him as like make him your first option? Because I'm like at this point, would he make a better second option?
I would say if coming fresh off of Golden State, yes, but then obviously he got hurt immediately into Brooklyn.
Just doo doo.
And so that was where, like, all right, as soon as he gets hurt and he sits for a
Right.
year and a half, that's where his stock starts to go down. For
Yeah.
me.
Because I look at him, because this is why I asked that question, because I look at KD more as a Kyrie. Kyrie
Okay.
isn't your first option. He's your second option. Because everywhere he's been, he tried, because he was young, so I don't hold it as much against him as a lot of people do. But he could not run Cleveland on his own.
I would argue
LeBron got there. He was the second to LeBron. Went to Boston, couldn't lead he could not lead the team.
I'd argue KD is the more valuable player than Kyrie at any point in either of their careers. KD was the more all-around player.
Yeah, I guess
not
that's
not
and just
discounting
on-
Kyrie, but it's the fact that
Physical
KD
attributes,
exactly.
right? You already got a 7-foot shooter who can handle the ball.
That's
You are
exactly
a
it.
mismatch
anywhere you go.
Right? Because, all right, I'm going to bring who out to guard me? Jokic?
Right.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to run by him, obviously.
Yeah,
I weigh 185 pounds.
Even to Jokic, he can still go that to
exactly.
Jokic. Like, doesn't matter who it is. Kyrie, as phenomenal as a player he is, it still doesn't compare.
I'm gonna extend your hot take a little bit.
That's fine.
Minus Golden State. Is KD's legacy just Carmelo Anthony?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he just the guy who could score but couldn't get it done?
Because he doesn't have 100%. A ring outside of there,
Because the thing is,
because Carmelo was a prolific scorer.
People
top 20
do
all time or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people do the bubble ring, right? They do the bubble ring. So I'm like, the poor Caruso. That's why he's making jokes because people hate the bubble ring.
The bubble ring. I think the bubble ring counts.
It was a weird
I still
time.
think
It counts because it's like it's no one's fault. It's not like the Lakers were like, hey, let's play in Disney.
It was Rudy's fault.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a weird time, so it counts. I'm like, but the thing is, like, I don't know. Carmelo was a great player. He just couldn't do it, and I think you take away, like, Golden State didn't need him.
Correct.
They didn't need
I still
him.
think they would have won.
They
wouldn't have gone on the record.
Yeah.
But I think they would have won regardless.
Maybe not
The
the same
saddest
way,
part,
but they would have won.
I think if OKC stayed together, they would have won.
You think one more run it back 1 year?
Yeah. Well, maybe not 1 year because the problem you have is the era they were in. It had nothing to do with
how
the
many
team.
years were they together already? The three of them.
They were all real young coming in.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, but here's the thing. It's like what they played a couple years.
Also, we forgot KD was a supersonic before he was a player.
So KD was the experienced player.
That's
at that
true.
point.
I forget about that. Well, and the thing is too, like, so they went to OKC. They played about a year or two, made the finals, and then they instantly got rid of Harden. Harden was the first domino to fall.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So they didn't even give him a chance.
But Harden wasn't Harden yet.
No, he became Harden.
Yeah, he hadn't grown the beard yet. Yeah,
because everyone was pissed. They're like, he's going to be
then,
horrible in Houston.
Who did they trade? They traded for. It wasn't Gordon Hayward, was it?
No,
I don't remember.
We got they got Perkins at some point, which was like
the worst.
If you want to talk about somebody who rides the championship train, it's him.
It's him. Yes.
Like, thank you for your contributions for 08,
right.
but bro,
Yeah.
get over it.
Yeah, 100%.
He's the one that rides that train.
Yeah.
Yeah, but OKC, like Ibaka was shortly after that, and then KD dropped, and then like I respect Russ for hanging out as long as he did.
Yeah.
People
Russ
tease
Russ stuck it out for a long time. That was impressive. Like, as much as I do dog Russ for his attitude for playing and the way he does play, he does stick to that team loyally, very much so. It's impressive.
He became MVP of the league as soon as KD left.
Yeah.
KD left, and he was instantly an MVP. I mean, so I'm like, it happens. So,
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think you take Golden State out because the you not needing him factor.
Yeah.
If you take him out of there, he's just Carmelo Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Which
pretty
sucks.
much. Which is, I mean, it's awful.
Carmelo's never made a finals. He's never made a conference finals.
Every big scorer really faces that. Where if you don't got the ring, because hometown, Dirk minus that ring, just a big guy who could shoot.
That's exactly. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Yeah.
Now the difference is he did pull that team from the depths of ocean by himself.
But and so that, I think, to me, that to go to the superstar conference, or like the superstar conversation, that's what to me pulls a superstar out.
Yeah.
He can drag a team tooth and nails through the mud and get them
I will
there.
argue.
That's the same thing with like LeBron. It's like he was able to pull a few teams
and for
to
his age,
there.
like looking back now in my 30s, going back, like, bro, he was 18.
Well,
and took Cleveland to like 6 conference finals and finals or whatever it was with no ring.
Right.
But that was never heard of at the time.
Right.
Like, that was such an
They
unprecedented
literally
thing.
handed him and say, "Hey, you're fresh out of high school. Good
There you
luck."
go.
And he
he
stepped
did.
up.
He
Yeah.
was in the East where there were no players.
I mean, there's
Not for a
And
while. There was like
honestly,
nobody.
even for Dirk's ring, and I love Dirk's ring. I do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I live
Because
and
it wasn't
breathe
supposed to
11.
happen.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it wasn't. But
was not supposed to
people
happen.
discredit the team. Like, oh, and even they all sucked. No,
No, they didn't.
Okay,
No.
we had some
Terry.
incredible role players who, they did what actually we're talking about in their time.
Yes.
They were the guy.
Yeah.
Right. Our backup shooter was Peja Stojacic.
Yeah.
Who was he was like a EuroLeague star. Like, he was it. He just came over later to chase a ring, or to try to make a thing, and then he ended up getting a ring with us. And then we had J Kidd as our point guard.
Yeah.
J Kidd was no scrub.
Yeah.
J Kidd
No.
Jason Kidd was like dominant. Jason
Right.
Terry.
But again,
that was Dallas.
But like
Ray
you
Allen.
said, they all knew their position and they played it
And I
to
will
a
argue,
perfect.
Rick Carlisle, one of the top coaches.
Oh,
People underrate him.
Yeah.
Top 10.
They underrate him
Absolutely.
because I think when he left Dallas, he just flew under the radar. The problem is you get good coaches that fly under the radar, and that's what throw people off. Is they go from being a top contended team, and then they're just gone.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, they're still there. It's kind of like the Gundys. The
Yeah.
Gundys were always like esteemed coaches, and they would go to a team that no one talks about. And you're like, whatever happened to him? And they're like, he's been coaching for like 6 years. So yeah, that's what it's kind of because he went straight to Pacers, didn't he?
Straight to Pacers.
And it's like they
honestly,
did nothing.
They did nothing for a while until they did something.
Yeah.
And then they put it
Because
together.
even last year was supposed to be a year for them, and
Yeah.
then Halliburton got hurt, and Hallie he got hurt in the conference finals.
Yeah.
And like the first game, and then went still play the Olympics
Yep.
and had to play a season. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And took his team even farther than he was supposed to this year. So it's like that's another to circle it back to
Right.
the injuries. I'm like, yeah, I keep forgetting he got hurt at the tail end too.
And again, that's another reason why I think LeBron is up there for one of the best players, just because of longevity of how not injured he has been for his entire career to the level that he has been playing.
For sure.
It's incredible.
That's the difference between like him and Kobe, to be honest. They both have these really long careers.
Yeah.
Kobe tore all kinds of stuff.
Because
He's popping shoulders out mid-game, breaking noses.
His ice
because
packs were
it's style of
legendary.
play. It
Popping
really is. Where it's just
Achilles.
like Kobe was getting it done no matter what and
Yeah.
put his body on the line. Not saying LeBron doesn't, but he doesn't take the same. He trains the way he lands differently. He makes sure he does everything.
But you
So-
could argue that's technology. We didn't have
sure.
all that before because
No, that's exactly it.
All the way back to Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Boy, the way they jumped back then.
Yeah, sports.
They were asking.
If
for
we want
Sports
to talk
science
what ifs,
really.
man, Derrick
yeah.
Rose still bums me out.
That's the big. That's
that
probably
was
one of
the
the biggest
closest Bulls
what
had.
ifs.
Yeah.
That probably is one of the biggest what ifs.
It's D Rose and Greg Oden, in my opinion. If
Oh,
Greg
Greg
Oden
Oden
had
too,
two
man.
knees
Yes.
that functioned at all
Oh.
times, because his run as a Buckeye, I mean,
yeah.
dude was different.
I know I've said this before, but for everybody who listens, it's going to be 2009 first round playoffs, Bulls versus Celtics, and it was rookie Rose, and it went to 7 games, and it was one of the most stressful series of all time. And I remember I was 16. And I was a host watching it, and it was Game 7, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be hosting, but instead I'm watching this game right here. And it was the most stressful experience of my life, but it's one of the best. I will go down as it's probably one of the best series and one of the best games I've ever seen.
Derrick
It was
Rose,
insane.
I loved watching him play. It was just such a beautiful way of watching basketball.
Oh,
for
he
him.
was different.
Yeah.
And to bring it back around again to this year, yet again, another team that should not have had first, but got first was Chicago.
Yep.
And it was like, all right, are we rigging things to have the hometown hero back? Because he's from Chicago, grew up playing in that circuit, dominated everything he was in, and then Chicago automatically gets first pick.
I know. Chicago.
So-
And it doesn't even matter. Chicago's cursed. I think Michael Jordan, as he was walking out the door, just like putting incense and had like voodoo dolls. And was just
That's
like,
exactly it. Yeah.
He just, something happened.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But the owners must still be happy because they are printing money.
Oh, absolutely.
They are printing money.
Absolutely.
They've never been more happy in their
Their
lives. to
marketing
live off
is
of
fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
However they want to run that marketing team, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because every year there's a new documentary about them. There's something going on, or they have that one person that they kind of like Zach LaVine, who can kind of still bring some people in.
Well,
and they lose him.
Jordan made the logo cool.
Yeah.
Now the logo's everywhere.
Yeah.
Even I've seen people who no clue about basketball. I'm like, oh,
But
you
they
got-
know
you got the Bulls.
Air Jordan, yeah.
And then they have the Bulls
yeah.
logo and like, oh yeah, it's just a cool logo.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
If you did the the Mandela effect thing, if you put up the two logos,
Right.
it's Jerry West as the actual logo,
logo,
right?
people think
It's
it's
the
Michael
official
Jordan.
logo. But if you put Air Jordan versus Jerry West, they're gonna think Michael Jordan. For any regular person,
100%,
they're thinking Air Jordan is the logo.
And that's why people
NBA.
get crazy, because I'm like, I saw somewhere where they were arguing about who is the logo, and I think it was because of the Air Jordans. They're like that, your brain goes there because it's like that's the logo.
Because you're more used to seeing the Air Jordan logo and silhouette versus the Jerry West.
Well, I mean, most casual fans, I would be surprised if, I took a poll of younger fans.
Yeah.
Know who Jerry West is. I bet people even my
Nobody
age
knows.
probably don't know.
No.
who
Probably
Jerry
not.
West
You would
is.
have to really know. You just have to be a basketball fan.
That's exactly it.
Old
yeah.
basketball too. Like Jerry West a while ago. Like, he was playing with the Plumbers.
Right.
So.
So there's another conversation. What if Michael Jordan had kept as good of care of his body as your LeBron has? How much better of a player? Or do you think
I think
he would have got?
I think he would have got. I would say he would have gotten one more.
You think he would have gotten one?
I think he would have got 7 instead of 6.
I think I think
Because keep in mind, these are all the
Okay.
stories of you hearing Michael Jordan going and playing 36 holes of golf, drinking beer and smoking
Yeah.
cigars the whole day, and still dropping 40 points.
Sally, I don't remember his name. I feel like I brought this up on the podcast before, but he wrote a book, and he said the difference between eras, because he played like multiple generations of teams. He said they would literally get on the plane and smoke cigars.
Oh, yeah.
On the way to the game, eat like cheeseburgers, whatever,
Yeah.
drink excessively, go to the club, and then they would show up at the game or do all this in between games and all this. Dude, could you imagine? Like LeBron, on the other hand, like you say, he's eating right every day. He's got private chefs, physical therapists that travel
They
with
took
him.
a beer out of poor Luca's hand.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Listen,
Yeah.
Michael Finley told him he needs to watch the calories. So,
Right.
we
But yeah,
have
you
to go-
on
don't
his
hear
revenge tour
the
next year.
stories of like Dennis Rodman going to Vegas for a weekend pass because he just needed to have a break and then
Yeah.
coming back and playing just as good ball.
And-
You don't hear that anymore.
It's just crazy. Well, you do. It was James Harden.
All right, fair.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what?
Look at what he's got to show for it.
He
Yeah.
still
But-
scored 30 with last night's,
I would
dinner
say
still
so. Like
set and
the
heavy.
reason why I say he would win one more because like let's just assume nothing else in history changes.
Yeah.
So let's say he
Still
eats right.
goes
He
to
still
that
goes.
awful organization.
So you think he does
You still have a
4-peat?
young Kobe.
You think he does 4-peat instead of 3-peat?
I think 4-peat.
he grows that ugly mustache and it all
Yeah.
goes down.
Oh yeah, it goes downhill because I love
So
that
if they
image
just-
of young
so if they
Kobe
just
just
run
got
it back.
drafted playing.
He
against them.
was the problem we were talking about earlier. There's no second. He's no help. He
right.
doesn't want-
At that point, yeah.
Like, and that's weird to say because he had so much help in Pippen and Dennis Rodman. He wanted to be the unarguable one.
Yeah.
That attitude is what led him to go into. It's not Charlotte. What was it before? The
Bobcats.
Bobcats,
Yeah.
Or yeah, it is Charlotte, but it's Bobcats. He wanted to be that guy. He couldn't have help. All the ego, and he just faded away into old manship.
Right.
Yeah. Because you think about all the champions around the time. Because Kobe. Yeah, I guess Kobe. So like, let's say from 90. Because when was the last ring? 96, 97?
No,
MJ
Bulls,
and
96
Bulls?
through 99.
That's what
was
it
the
was.
last one, yeah.
So then you look at 99 and on. So you go, the
99
Lakers
was-
got Shaq and they got Kobe
Yeah.
and they had that whole team. And then
Because it was 2000 through 3, right? Was there a 3-peat or was it
No, it
01?
was 99,000 and 01.
Oh, okay, it was that.
because then Spurs won a couple after that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
then you
But
look at the
yeah,
Spurs
so
against Tim
immediately
Duncan, you get
after-
Ginobili,
Yeah.
like
Immediately after MJ retires, you would then
everyone
have Kobe.
else,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone else hits the league and it just
And then he kind of starts bouncing around a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Detroit got in there and got
Yeah,
one.
you get a
Yeah.
couple Spurs, couple Lakers, Detroit, then you go
Yeah.
back to Lakers, Spurs, and like Celtics throw in there.
Yeah.
It
Cleveland
was like-
pops up somewhere.
Yeah.
LeBron's getting in there. so
Miami
you
all
just
of a
assume
sudden has a
nothing else
team.
changes. I think he would have got. I think it would have been either a 4-peat or it would have been a loss and then a fifth.
I think that his attitude and ego ended his championship abilities
Right.
earlier than his
Especially
physical
with
capabilities.
Phil Jackson not coming back. as
Well,
as
yeah,
a
and you can only
coach.
run the triangle so many times,
Right.
right? Like, listen, we
But-
studied the triangle from all 37
But it's just the
angles.
relationship that he had with Phil.
It worked.
Like, if taking all of that, I think
Yeah.
that was probably one of the biggest takeaways that I had from The Last Dance. The only relationship that mattered to MJ was him and Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Everybody else with Pippen, Rodman, whoever, did not matter. Ever was Phil
Yeah.
Jackson and MJ, and that was
It's
it.
similar to Greg Popovich and Timmy.
Yeah.
Like, they have that same, like, player-coach thing going on.
now,
Now, Timmy was a little bit different attitude.
No,
wise.
yeah, but to say that's
For sure.
very
But as far as the
different mindset.
relationship,
But yes,
Now,
it was. They were
if-
both ride or die at that
if
point.
MJ was going to do what a lot of other veterans do, let's say like his relationship with Phil is like it was so important, then Phil instantly went to Lakers right after that. Let's say they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to sign you to like a veteran contract. You're still Michael Jordan. We're going to pay you a little less money, and you still get Shaq in there. And he's like all this stuff. And
that'd be
he'd win
great.
like 3 more championships.
Oh, 100%.
3, dude, that would have been a decade.
Can you imagine a young star Kobe,
Although
MJ's mentor?
Kobe, Shaq, and MJ on the same team would be locker room.
That would-
nightmares.
It'd be
Oh,
crazy.
my gosh.
Yeah, because
I mean,
Kobe and Shaq could barely get along.
The only thing worse is Gilbert Arenas bringing a gun to the stadium. Everything else, that would have exploded. 'Cause
Yeah.
Shaq was ego through the roof, of course. Even he admits it,
Yeah.
And Kobe
Kobe
obviously had
came
an
in
ego.
with a huge ego.
You know what? His first year humbled him quite a bit because he sucked. That first.
But again,
like,
because he was another one that came straight from high school.
that was Fro Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fro Kobe, man. I love
Dude,
Fro
when he
Kobe.
when he still had like the little bit of hair and he was that first year, it's so funny to see him year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
And then obviously the wrestling career history, but there's a huge change and
Yeah.
he had the drive, but like just ability to get it done.
I always like those memes where it's like memes that it looks fake or photoshopped.
Yeah.
And it's like it had like MJ, LeBron, and Kobe all still next to each other because like they all played at the same time
did, yeah.
for like a year. They all
Yeah.
played together, and it's like, oh man, people forget like how long LeBron's been around, and like with Kobe, how early he started to come out. I'm like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
But this is gonna be an interesting season for sports. I mean, full circle. I think we have so much we talk about because there's just so much going on. Even though it's like an off season,
Right?
Like it's gonna be a lot of interesting. August on is going to be very
like
interesting.
The coaching time where it's like all these changes happen
Yeah.
that could make a difference.
Yeah.
Nothing might change. It might still be the same 3 teams.
Yeah. Yes. Next year it's just
the
like
East is what the East is, right?
the
Most
East
likely
is,
it's going to be them, Cleveland, and Knicks.
Can I just say this observation? Why is it that now in current sports for NBA and NFL, the Wests are always stronger than the Easts currently?
it's the locations like people want to be in Miami. They
Yeah.
want to be in Los Angeles.
I don't think that's true though. New York, Knicks.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, not Miami. What am I saying?
But you got
Yeah, like
Boston, New York. Like those are big markets.
Yeah.
Isn't Chicago in the East?
Chicago's East.
Yeah, those are some big markets.
Yeah.
They're big
But it
markets-
just
they're
seems
big
to me
markets,
it just
but
seems to me right
They're
now
not
the
sexy, man.
both the
feel like
West
New York's always sexy.
Western conferences are just so much stronger
They're always
than
stronger
the
for some
Eastern
reason.
conferences for whatever reason.
We had the Baytown here in Houston rocking all this strength. Like they should have no reason to.
It's so funny. I'm like the only one in the East where I go. Well, I guess there's 2 in the East where I can go. Okay, I can see why I'd be confused why people wouldn't want to go there, and that's Orlando and Miami. Because like with New York, right? I'm assuming New York is just the East version of LA, where it's like probably the taxes and everything else. Like there's probably a lot of things.
Course,
that nobody wants to go for that kind of thing, property taxes, whatever. And then like Boston, I'm like, no one wants to go to Massachusetts.
That's just history at that point.
Yeah.
Like
Indiana.
people want to go because you're playing for the name of the organization.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
you would have to be a fan. Exactly, you have to be a fan.
They
of
watched
history.
somebody who played, or
Yeah.
they were
Because
a Larry
there's
fan.
like Chicago, right? I'm like, you think there like you would think there's more people that want to go for the history. Like I want to go play where Michael Jordan did. You think they would get more big names off of the Chicago Bulls name, and they don't.
They really don't know.
They've never have. It's like they'll get close and then just nothing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they're like, no one wants to be here. At
Right.
all,
Right.
do they? I'm like, and it's like Utah. Like Utah's the most least sexy team
Well,
on the West.
And
And
Golden
it's like
State
no
was
one
in
wants to go.
Oakland. Nobody
Yeah.
cared about that forever.
No.
Now Curry's there. Everybody cares.
But that's
Everybody
one
cares.
because they got lucky on the draft.
They got really lucky. But I mean, when that started,
Timberwolves again.
Oakland.
And I would argue, you know
we
what?
miss Giannis.
And I would argue too, you need charismatic players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Golden State, yes, they won 4 titles, but I don't think it's the championships that make people want to go there. I think it's Curry. I think it's
Curry and
Klay
Dre.
Thompson and
Yeah.
Dre. It was
Yeah.
You need charisma. LA, there was so much like they had charisma on that team. LeBron's there. You had Kobe
I mean,
before
I would
that.
argue with with LA and any of the New York teams, you have the celebrities that go to the games are just as important.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
have that wow
Drake
factor.
in Toronto.
Thank you.
Come
Did
on,
you see?
man.
Did you see the Drake curse continues?
What's that?
He bet on Oliveira to win.
yes.
And he just knocked out in the
Oh, he
first
got
round.
smoked.
Just murdered.
I-
Which is a shame because
Charles,
I love
listen,
him.
I love
I
Drake.
love Oliveira. I think unfortunately his kind of run is coming to
It's him and Ferguson are both to me the same type of fighter where they can both, well, not Oliveira anymore, could take a hard punch.
Yeah.
Cannot win anymore.
I
don't think.
I think as they get older, and some of the fighters talk about, like Chael Sonnen, I think has talked about this heavily, is that as you get older, you gotta quit doing the heavyweight cuts.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's hard to come back.
And-
young and spry, maybe you can come back after that.
Yeah.
But dude,
your
like,
body isn't as elastic anymore.
No,
Like
and
Patty
Oliveira,
Penman's gonna have a hard time in a couple years old. Who's
that?
Patty the
Patty.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Dude, with
He's
all
gonna have a
that,
hard
I
time.
think,
I
he's
think
gonna have
he's-
to fight super heavyweight by the time he's.
I think he's realistic enough with himself where he's like he'll know when to call it at that point.
I can't wait for him to retire. He's gonna be so fast.
It seems
my
like
gosh.
he's just kind of getting what's his and leaving. Like
Yeah.
he seems like that type of guy. Like he seems real.
He knows what he
whatever.
wants.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like from
He's
the
just
outside.
there for a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
But
And he knows you'll make more money the more charismatic you are.
Yeah.
Like UFC specifically, like if you're somebody who can bring in viewership,
Oh, that's all it
Make
is.
money.
That
Which,
really
I mean,
is all
Sean
it is.
O'Malley's the same way.
yeah.
I mean,
there
but
was
you,
no
did you
reason.
see the clip of Patty at the end of the fight? He came into the ring and called out what's his face?
Which one?
The winner. Why can't I remember his name? Who?
Superior?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes total
Yeah,
sense.
he came into the ring. Well, Patty came into the ring afterwards. Dana White called him out, going like, "I was already."
I don't think you can do that.
No,
I didn't
that's
watch
exactly-
that fight,
no,
except for the clips of
Yeah,
Oliveira
but
getting
like,
knocked
yeah,
out.
Dana came out the day after. He was like, "I was already gone at that point, but I didn't agree with it. I don't like what
Yeah.
he was doing." But to your point though, Patty knew he was making a name, and he knew he was gonna get the views
Yeah.
at that point because he know it's to
That's all it
WWE.
takes.
It's all the showmanship, to be able to
Jake
do.
Paul, like Jake Paul, he
wanted-
fight
he
happened
just won his
yesterday
fight,
too, and
yeah.
like I've seen so many clips of just like it's funny because yes, he's fighting older dudes, but like they don't punch anymore.
No,
Yeah.
They don't punch. Like Mike Tyson, right? I know he's old, and I know you can make any training videos look good.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he barely tried to punch.
Yeah.
He
Some would
scared
say
Jake
that's
a
in the
couple
contract.
times in the first round,
Yeah, and then
got tired.
stopped.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like the fight yesterday, I didn't watch the actual fight, but I watched a lot of clips. Dude, Paul literally almost got knocked out.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know it was yesterday.
Yeah, so like
I
there's
only saw
one
the highlights
clip.
afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like the third or fourth round where whoever he was fighting punched him in the face, and and it looked like he got knocked out. And the dude, instead of like capitalizing on it, doing like a left punch, like caught him and kind of was like, "Hey."
This is why everybody, that happens in every fight.
Yeah.
People are saying there's money not to knock him out. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Jake
Oh,
is,
yeah.
Jake
No,
is an
there's the
entertainment
longer a fight
guy.
can go, the more money you make. That's
Yeah.
absolute. There's
'Cause
no
it's a
question of
novelty.
that.
He
So-
knows
Yeah.
he's paying these people, like they won't admit it, and he probably has them sign some sort of business agreement.
And let's face
and
it.
it's like, hey, I'll give you. You're about to make millions of dollars
Yeah.
Right.
to just not even try.
Is it in there? You can't knock me out. Probably not. But it's, hey man, my pay doubles every round.
No, that's
So,
exactly because the sponsors are
I'm
paying
here to
more
get
for
this
every
going.
round. You know,
Yeah.
the longer that if a fight goes the full distance,
Tyson used to get complaints about that. It's like, who wants to pay for a 10-second fight?
right?
Because Tyson would just come out and smoke.
Tyson don't give a dang about
back
it.
then. Tyson
no,
was crazy.
He's
because
biting people's ear off. He don't
Yeah.
care.
right, but he's making what 100 million a fight.
Post prison Mike.
Doesn't matter.
Boy, he was there to end and get home.
Yeah,
He's like, I got stuff to do.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it's it's just embarrassing for that, and I get it as a WWE fan, I get it. But also, this weekend was the pay-per-view, so that was kind of fun. It was what was it called? Night of Champions, which they laughed at because there was only like 2 titles on the line.
Oh, good.
And normally back in the
Short
day,
night.
it was Night of Champions where it was like
A lot of
every
champ-
match
yeah.
was a championship
Yeah.
match.
Right.
And there was 6 matches, but only 2 of them were for championships. And the main event was CM Punk versus John Cena.
No, CM Punk came out to Cena's song.
Yeah,
didn't
he was dressed up like
Nice.
old school John Cena was rapping.
Little Jinko.
Yeah,
long
it was
yeah.
hilarious.
Jorts.
Yeah, and it was for nostalgia reasons, great match. The crowd was really, I mean, they're in Saudi Arabia, and right now there's a lot of
Yeah.
up and downs about what's
Yeah.
going on around there. So I'm glad it seemed like they were safe and stuff, but the crowd was hot. Like, they were so good. Like,
Oh,
it was
really?
it was a fun, what made the pay-per-view fun was the crowd.
Good.
Because if you have a
I mean,
bad
yeah.
crowd, it makes it so boring.
really
especially
is.
in a WWE environment.
Yeah.
But when the whole time, like, they were so into it. So it was a good pay-per-view.
Who ended up winning the match?
So Cena won.
Of
So
course.
Cena's still champion. They did the King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. The winner of that goes to SummerSlam to fight Cena, and Cody Rhodes beat Orton.
Ooh,
so that'll be a
good
rematch
match
from
then.
WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm very much looking forward to that. That's August.
Because
2nd
Rhodes
and
is
3rd.
the reigning champ, right?
So Rhodes was he was, and then Cena beat him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now he's going to get his rematch because he beat
Which
Orton.
it's
so.
really setting up. That's probably what's going to happen.
Of course.
Cena's
I'm
got to
like-
hand the title off at
Right.
some point.
Well, this is his last year.
I
Oh,
was
so
saying,
when?
he's
So
done.
when's the season done for him then? What?
So he said his last date is like the middle of December, middle to end of December.
Okay.
So his goal, he won the title in April. So he's like, I'm going to retire as champion. He's
Okay.
I'm going to be done as champion. So
Do they usually retire people as champions?
they can. His whole thing. So obviously we know it, like it's scripted television, but his whole storyline right now is I'm the champion. I'm going to walk out of here. This championship that has the history of Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan,
Right.
Andre the Giant. The history of this championship is going to end with me. He's like, I'm going to retire. And I'm going to take this belt with me. You're going to have to create a new
So
title.
he's just
You're gonna have
walking
to do a whole
out,
new
just
thing.
birds a-blazing
Yeah, he's
at
like,
that
I'm leaving
point.
with this belt.
Yeah.
That's a good
And-
storyline because they're going to have to get new faces to be
Yeah.
I mean,
stalwarts.
I mean, from an outsider looking in, it really seems like the old guard is pretty much all gone. Where like your big names of your Rocks and your
Yeah,
your
Rock's
Cenas,
basically done.
every big name from the 2000s 2010s is now
Yeah.
gone or leaving.
Well, and here's the best
Most of
example.
who I could name probably
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, and
that's
here's the thing, like,
exactly
because
it, yeah.
Orton and Cena debuted the same year, and that was in 2002.
Man.
So they both have been around just as long. And Orton Cena's 47, 48, and then Orton's like 45, 46. So they're both in their mid-40s, and for wrestling, that's crazy.
How old is Cody Rhodes then?
He turns 40 soon. Like,
Right,
He's 39.
Because like even then, he's the younger crowd,
younger
and he's
crowd.
40. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have some good. So there's some good stars.
they've
This
got
is their
good guys
time. They
coming
have
up,
to like
yeah.
really. They have to really, really build new stars right now.
You're right.
Because Cody Rhodes coming back because he had left, and like Chris Jericho still wrestles for AEW, and he, motherfucker's
he's
like
gotta be
56,
50-something.
57.
Yeah, he's got
he's
to
an
be,
old.
yeah.
He's old. So I'm like, you get some of these guys that will just keep going, but they have some good stars build up. So that's at least they're trying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is when you. Like when Vince was still in charge, he wouldn't build. It was like always Cena, always Orton.
That's the thing. That's the blessing of the curse, because you have it's like, all right, you have your big single names out there, and then now you don't. You're trying to give everybody else a spread, but it's at the disservice of you don't have those names in the news anymore.
Well, and Cody Rhodes, and even then he beat Roman Reigns for the WWE title last year, and Roman Reigns had the title for 4 years, and that hasn't happened. And WWE, which is like
that seems like a long run.
So he won it in 2020 and didn't lose it until last year. So it was a 4-year long reign.
Wow.
And people were just like, "Oh my gosh, dude!" And like Caitlin and I went to WrestleMania. It was him versus Brock in the main event, and we were like. I was pulling for Brock so bad, and he beat him, and I was like, no, because I was like 4 years. I'm like, I was at the time I was laughing. I was like, Caitlin, our youngest daughter wasn't born yet when he won this title.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and now she's running around and throwing things and can she's like sentient. She can she's alive, and he's still champion. I'm like, this is not okay. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it was so bad. And I get during COVID because they can kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 2024. Like, please stop it. So,
does WWE still have the Next Superstar reality show?
They used to. They have one now called Legends and Future Greats.
Okay.
Where it's like they have Undertaker, Bubba Ray Dudley, Booker T, and a couple other people like coaches.
Bubba Ray.
So yeah, it's like a competition. So they'll coach people trying to get into business.
Yeah.
And then the winners like moves on to their developmental or whatever. But it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And Undertaker is and Booker T are such characters, man.
Oh yeah.
Like
Booker T, he was probably one of my favorites. He was
I love
a good
Booker
showman.
T. Yeah, because he's just loud, and I love it. I'm like, he's such a stereotype, and I love it.
That dude was athletic.
He was.
That dude was crazy.
Yeah.
For the size he was, to move like he did, nah.
And it's surprising because you don't think how big these people actually are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when they tell you like the whole goal was like Vince wanted them to be like superheroes, like larger than life athletes.
That's
like,
exactly
when you go see them. It's almost like the modern day Gladiator because like the storyline is not real, but what they're doing real things.
Yes.
And so when you go out there, they want it to be like you go and you're watching like modern day.
And it helps that they have like these behemoths of men just coming
even
out.
The small guys were big compared to regular guys.
Right. Yeah.
Most of the time. Like, okay, you have your standouts like Rey Mysterio, he's a little fella. Mm-hmm. Right? And I say little fella, wasn't he like 6 foot? Like average size.
Rey Mysterio?
Who do I say?
Wait, who did you just say?
Yeah, Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, right?
So Rey Mysterio,
The
I mean, he's pretty tall. He's taller than you think he would be.
But like the
Right,
bulky,
It's like Steph Curry, right?
He was the little guy.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Like,
because you had all these other guys that were
You're
coming
like, oh
out,
my God.
and they're just monsters.
Yeah, it's like Matt Hardy was like the normal size. Dude's like 6'3".
Yeah.
Like
Oh, no,
230
But you're still
pounds.
looking at the Undertaker going high.
Yeah.
Just staring up at him. Doesn't matter who you are.
No,
100%,
I met John Cena in 2013. He was doing an autograph signing.
That's cool.
And so I went and met him, right? And so I'm trying to think how old. So what was that? 12 years ago. So I was like 21. So I went and saw him, and like I've never felt more like a toddler in my life. Because I shook his hand, and of course it engulfed mine.
Yep.
And I'm standing next to him, and I'm like, we're actually pretty close in height, but he's so wide.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I'm looking at like a godly man. Like this is not a normal dude.
That's exactly
This
it,
is like a monster.
Like
what are you
whenever
doing?
he would like start giving out his armband, the people would be holding it. It's like it's a hoop.
Yeah, you're like,
It's
you know,
a
it's good for
hula
your
hoop.
head,
Yeah.
Wearing his tube top.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously,
It's so
like
funny.
it's stretched out so far, and it's
Yeah.
just this gaping just hoop of a piece of cloth.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But man, I love wrestling. I started watching it. I'm trying to think when it was like 99, 2000, like around that time. So I was about like 8. I'm like, I've been watching it for a long time, and I'm like, it's so good now. But like, the dark time was like 2013 to like 2017 was like the dark period where you're just watching this, being like, I'm just doing this to do it now.
Yeah.
It's just brain rot. Like I'm putting it on, and I'm like, this is horrible.
At least they came out of that.
They did.
At
I'm
least
so
came out.
happy they did.
Because I'll be honest, it was shaky there for a while.
It was.
That's
They were going
exactly- yeah.
under.
It's horrible. What it was is they lost it. It goes back to the Building Stars. All at the same time. It's like, think about it. Like 2002, you had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had Triple H, Undertaker,
That was
Booker
the
T,
time.
young John Cena, young Randy Orton,
Even people who
Jericho.
didn't watch, like I didn't watch wrestling
Hogan.
at the time, but I knew enough where there was all of these huge guys, and I knew each one of their names. I still know each one of their names.
Everybody at school was doing the DX.
Yeah.
Like,
DX, the Hardy
Baton
Boys.
and
Yes.
everything.
The
Yeah, the
Dudley
Hardy
Do your
Boys.
Walls of Jericho,
Yeah.
you know,
You had
whatever.
all this stuff, and then like at the same time, you lost everybody.
Yeah.
So then your lull period was like, okay, you're building John Cena. You had Batista coming in there, Orton coming in there. So like those were your new stars.
Right.
And then like And then they got older and left. And then Cena's doing more. He's been doing more acting for the past like 10 years.
Yep.
Would it be safe to say like someone like the influencer, like the YouTube stars, or like the former UFC stars coming in, did that help boost it a little bit? Because that's about time when like the Logan Paul's got into it a little bit more, and that started boosting up a lot. You have your old UFC like Ronda Rousey coming in, helping boost her in a little bit.
I think what helped. So when I noticed it started to get good again was when COVID hit. There was no crowds. They had nothing to lose.
Right.
They could just do things because they're like, there's no crowd.
Right.
We can't base it on reactions anymore because we can't hear a crowd. They were doing like Monday Night Raw, like their WrestleMania that year was so depressing. Because it was in their performance center. It was just a ring in a tiny little warehouse, and that's their WrestleMania, which normally has 70,000 people.
Right, it's usually selling out stadiums. Yeah.
And it's
an interesting
crazy.
reset because you got to go back to the performance side of it. There's no more like quote unquote gags anymore.
There's
no more like, oh, I can do this, get a cheap.
You have to be able to pull off every stunt and sell it.
Well, and the problem is,
and make it look good.
With a thing like a performance art like that is you can't just come out with your home runs every time. You have to have singles and doubles.
And that's why the crowd is so good, because it's like you could go, okay, this doesn't work. This isn't hitting it out like I thought it was going to, but it's good for what it is right now.
It's almost like a comedian where they're trying out sets before they do their special, where they tape it, where it's like, all right, you try this joke, try it a certain way.
Yeah.
You try this setup, you phrase it slightly different.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, or like same thing with like you set up a play. You maybe do an inflection here of, this line has to be said this way. This line has to be said that way. And then you get different reactions.
Yeah. Well, and I will say one thing that kind of helped it too was it was 2018, right? So 2018, Vince was still in charge. It was before Roman Reigns had his big run that brought everybody, like kind of the storyline is what brought people in.
Right.
COVID hadn't hit yet. So the WWE was real bad. Like attendance was down. People were not happy about it. Cody Rhodes, a couple guys from Japan, Chris Jericho, they all started AEW.
Right.
And AEW, so like competition, WWE's had no competition since WCW in the early 2000s.
Right.
And so like right now, that caused them to have to be good again because they're like, oh crap, because people were tuning in, like they were getting over 1 million views.
Wow.
CM Punk left in 2014, was like, I hate wrestling, I'm never going back to wrestling. AEW convinced him to go back.
Yeah.
And he went back to AEW, and then that bummed out. Now he's back in WWE because I think he hated his experience there or whatever. But I'm like, you needed that competition. Cody Rhodes went and built a name for himself, created a company, and now he's the main star in WWE.
Right.
Because it got good.
Right.
Like it's that thing where like you needed somebody to go against the grain to wake them up and go, okay, I got to do better because like we're losing viewership, we're losing this, we're losing that, and then I think COVID hitting caused them to have to try new things. Vince had his scandal, so that kicked him out.
Yeah.
So Triple H took over the creative, and then they have the UFC guys own them now. So they're like, you know it, go do your thing.
Yeah.
So he's able to do his own thing, and so it's cool again. They brought in Logan Paul, so like you said with the influencers, like I hate Logan Paul. He's a damn good wrestler.
Right.
He is so good. His matches are entertaining as all get.
That's the thing,
because he's an athletic kid guy.
He's
right,
whatever.
like,
I love him as a kid, but he's like
because he really does pull in. He's a good athlete and he's a good entertainer, and it meshes well.
Because
with
he can go out there.
And they made him a heel, which he should have been.
Yeah.
And
he goes
like
out there
it
and he's
really
annoying
is,
as hell.
heels have more fun.
Yep.
It's like you get the more entertaining things that you. There's really no limit of what you can do as a heel.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are a good guy, you have a limit of how low you can go. But you can go as high as you want, but a heel can go as low as he wants, or get that redemptive up to the top.
Yeah.
Like WWE became because you bring in the influencer, you get Logan Paul, you bring in his crowd, right?
Yeah.
iShowSpeed loves wrestling. He's been there. Halliburton and Brunson have been showing up, but they're getting his fans.
Gronk was in it.
Gronk was there for a bit, and so like it's WWE is cool again.
Yeah.
And so that they needed that because for a little bit there it was, and I get why they went PG for a bit, and they still are, but they can be a little bit more like.
I think
adults,
it helps with that YouTube kind of value where it's like, all right, if you can pull it off on YouTube and still get views, you can kind of do it on mainstream now. And especially since it's not really beholden to a specific set of guidelines. It is you can still do whatever you want with their storylines.
Well, and when Cody Rhodes came back, it was shocking because like again he went and created AEW, and then they were like he's there to help them beat WWE. He came back, and that was his whole thing. They were able to build a storyline around him because. He came back with a refreshed gimmick. He was the star. He came back with an aura that he didn't have when he left. Like his whole thing was trying to finish his story, which was his dad had never been WWE champion before ever.
Okay.
So he said there's a picture he has of his dad holding the WWF title. He won it, and then it was by count out. So there's a picture of him holding it, and that's the only time the ref took it back from him right after that.
Really?
And he never won it.
Wow.
So it was his whole thing was, I need to win this like I'm back to win this title.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns has had it 4 years, and so the whole thing was him versus Roman.
Right.
Can I beat him for the title?
That's cool.
Then he lost, and then the next year went back and won, and it was the biggest.
See, like that's the cool storytelling,
Yeah.
and that you can't get really anywhere else, with the exception of a few like professional athletes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where it's like you get your like the fact that it's a family business.
Yeah.
That is cool to me.
And it was real. It was a storyline based on realism.
Yes.
Like it was a real thing that his dad had
like
never
the
won
closest
the
I can think of is almost like the baseball players.
Griffey.
Griffin.
Oh,
Griffey Jr. Yeah.
Griffey Jr. Yeah.
Like when they did the whole story of his dad hits the home run.
Yeah.
Shows up to his son and goes, "What are you gonna do?" And then his son hits the home run, and he was, I think the Griffey Jr. says, like, I didn't realize it at the time as I was running the bases of what that meant.
Yeah.
To me, I just hit a home run with my dad, and then his dad realized, like, he's like, I talked to my dad later, and that's when it hit.
Yeah.
Of how historic that kind of moment is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like when people ask me why I watch wrestling, I go, it's one of the few forms of entertainment that makes so many people feel different emotions.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, like they're so invested. Like you can be invested in a movie or like a basketball team, like when the Celtics lose, but ultimately like the storyline of it. Because like with the Undertaker, right? He was undefeated at WrestleMania for 22 years. 22 years.
Was he
And
really?
again, it was
Wow.
like in the
Yeah.
storyline,
I
22
didn't know
years
that.
you're never going to lose.
Right.
When he lost for the first time, it was the weird. Like
Who
y'all
did
need to
he-
look up the clip.
who
I'll
did he
send it to y'all
lose
later.
to? I forget
to
who.
Brock.
That's right.
No one in a million years thought he was
Yeah.
going to lose, and when he did, it was like silent. You had an arena of 70,000 people quiet.
Yeah.
And then like it was just like 1, 2, 3, and they're like,
What just
what?
happened?
Like because
Right.
no one. I remember I was shook. I remember
hearing the news
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Caitlin and I were in our first apartment. We had just moved into our apartment, and it was like her first Mania, like with me. So we were watching it, and I remember it going 1, 2, 3, me just staring at my TV, being like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah.
And her being like, "What's
What do you
wrong?"
mean? Yeah.
Because like she knew, but
To
not
her,
really.
it was no different than the last
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Somebody lost.
Someone won, someone
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
And for me, I was shook. I'm like,
Right.
22 years.
And see, that's the cool thing of the longevity of WWE, because you have, when did it start? 80s? But just like in
think it
general,
got
yeah,
big in the
wrestling's always been
but to
around,
my
but,
point,
but
though,
like
like,
the WWF
you
was like the 80s.
right? But to my point, it's like you have your storylines that are crossing decades, really like.
Yeah, because it's
But
one continuous story.
That's exactly it.
just keep
but
going.
it's like, and even
There's no
then, it's like,
off-season.
even
Yeah.
if you're not planning the story, because obviously you can't plan, all right, is your son going to go into the business type of thing. It's like you can still re-up those storylines that were, not even thought of at that point, and you can tie it in. A good
Yeah.
storyteller is going to be able to
yeah.
wrap it up.
Even if your son doesn't,
Right.
Kane and Undertaker were what?
I mean, yeah.
Long lost brothers.
Yeah, they were
Exactly.
brothers, and
Yeah.
people cared.
And I
They
remember
were shook.
I didn't watch the darn thing.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, they're totally brothers. Guys.
Yeah.
Come
Oh.
on, look at these behemoths. of men.
No one else looks like them.
Yeah,
they're huge.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you've got the Undertaker with the whole death thing. Then you got the Kane with the red mask. Oh,
Yeah.
this makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah, you're like, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And you don't, and at that time when you're a kid too, you don't question it. You're like, yes, this
Yeah,
is lit, this is
absolutely,
it.
yes.
But like you said, the full circle thing, like with the whole CM Punk Cena match that had just happened yesterday, like the last time they had a big feud was in 2011. CM Punk did this whole thing and dropped it. They called it the pipe bomb, where he just made this whole just laid it all out there, right? And it basically changed his career after doing that.
Interesting.
Cena repeated that promo right before their match.
Oh, really?
He had laid CM Punk out and basically repeated that whole promo that CM Punk said to him back to him. And so it was like they just find ways to
Yeah,
that's
full
cool.
circle it. And
Yeah.
That's really unique
You know.
about WWE is the whole cut in a promo.
Yeah.
Which some people do it kind of gimmicky. I know everybody
Yeah.
has their own style. But
It's
a wrestler
naturally-
that can cut a good promo and like
where you listen.
kind of Conor McGregor does it for the UFC, funny enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Or did it, I guess. Michael Chandler did it. There was a few UFC guys who kind
Chael
of picked up
Sonnen,
that.
yeah,
Chael
was a huge
Sonnen.
That's why
guy.
it's so tied in between
Yeah,
those two
but
type of.
if you cut a good promo,
promotions.
you can sell a fight. Dude, I'll tune in to
Yes.
watch the right promo go
Oh,
down
absolutely,
because
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, you hype up a fight enough.
But he looks like he really hates this guy. I
Yeah.
hate him too. I don't
Yeah.
even know him.
That's why I'm like, especially when you've invested in it. Like if you invest, let's say you invest in anything.
Yeah.
Let's say if you've invested
Any amount of
in
time,
anything,
yeah.
I'm like, at this point, I'm like, when I the longevity when you watch something from like 8 to now, like a storyline based thing like that. It's almost like watching if you're a Walking Dead fan.
Yeah.
And you're like, I've watched Walking Dead for 12 years. You're invested in everything. You remember all the callbacks. And I'm like, now I'm like, oh my God. Like I watch it and I'm like, oh look, they called back something from when I was 12.
Yeah, and that's what makes it more special because it's like they're doing it for you at that point. You can throw in new stuff for the new folks, but then you also throw in enough stuff for the old guard, as it were.
Because every kid grows up. You know, I mean, every kid grows up and they remember back then.
And I think that's partially, I think in my opinion, that's why a big like resurgence of popularity has come back, because the folks that were, you know, our age at that point from, you know, watching in the early 2000s, they're now adults reinvesting in all of this.
Yeah, we all got kids. You know,
and then you're
my
showing.
son, I'm like, hey, you know, I didn't even watch WWE like that. I watched it, but I didn't like root for it.
Yeah.
Even I sit down and I'll see, hey, little man, look, you got to look at this. This is so cool. Watch, they're gonna smack the crap out of each other.
And now, like internet clips, like being able to do these clips on social media, it's super easy to go. All right, here's a 3-minute clip of the highlights of this.
They're becoming cool again in a world of social media.
Yes.
Where attention spans are 30 seconds.
Right.
And they were made to be social media stars. They were influencers.
But like
influencers.
Every match can really be summed up in 30 seconds at that point. 30 seconds to a minute, you have your intro. Does he do something cool with the intro? Does he do something cool in the ring? How did they finish the fight? That's all you need.
Yeah.
And to get somebody hooked on it.
And all it takes is you to find one person you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can get behind one person,
right.
Well, guess what? I don't watch wrestling, but I watch her.
Yes.
I watch him.
That's how a lot of people.
I'll watch his whole career.
That's how a lot of people get hooked into sports. I mean, how many people got hooked onto football because they like Taylor Swift and now they like Jason Kelce?
Yep. Exactly.
Or Travis Kelce. Well, and then but same thing, Jason Kelce at that point.
I like Jason Kelce.
But see the broadness that you're hooked on Gridiron Heights.
Yep.
And now you are hooked on. All right, what are all these other people
What's
saying?
his
Because
lore? Why does he not like him?
But but like Gridiron Heights has all these different celebrities and all the different players, and they're hearing stories, and then all of a sudden, boom, your algorithm is now from Taylor Swift to you can have any number of athletes on there, and now you're following sports.
Oh yeah,
because something hooked you on social media.
Yep.
Yeah,
so it's a fascinating time for wrestling.
Yeah,
like I will say, I don't think in our lifetimes there's been this much popularity in wrestling.
Right.
Because you have WWE, who's on a hot streak, AEW, which is the huge second. You have some smaller promotions that now some people are like, dude, I make a huge amount of money just being on the indie circuit now, because wrestling is such a big deal. They're like, I don't even need to be in WWE because I'm going and booking show after show. Yeah,
you can sell out small little stages, small arenas.
You're making all this money.
Yeah,
it's like independent sales because you're like, well, I'm my own boss. I make my own merch.
Right.
So I have to stand. Cool. And so I'm like, wrestling is a huge thing right now.
Yeah, it really is.
It's wild.
Really
how big it's gotten again.
I've said multiple times, like, I want to go to like an indie wrestling event. I want to find one dude. I'm like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I'm about to ride and die for that guy.
Yeah, because there's so many wrestlers now that started out that way that if you were that person who's like, because like if you grew up anywhere and you went to an indie show and you see that guy and you see him make it to WWE or something, you're like, hey,
exactly.
I followed you.
That's exactly
you did it.
Yeah,
because that's where they all come from. Most of them are all indie dudes,
Yep.
and they got hired from WWE later. So I'm like, it's a fun time, like in wrestling, which is fun because I'm like, I think for anyone who's stuck with it through the bad time, there was like the rock time, and then there was the bad time, and then now we're back here. I'm like, you earned this time. Yeah. Because you're like, it was so bad.
It really is that redemption of just like, all right, you're now vindicated of sticking through all of that time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly it.
But I love me some wrestling. So so I think so they have 2 events and then SummerSlam, which is like their second WrestleMania. It's like their summer WrestleMania. So it's like they have a what is it? The Saturday night's main event, which isn't really a pay-per-view, but it's like they'll do a few matches on a Saturday, and then they have an all-women's pay-per-view coming up.
Oh, interesting.
Because the women are so popular.
That's another
right now.
huge thing too. It's like before you had your, was it only your little vixen?
Yeah, you only had a
matches,
few.
Yeah, and I was gonna say they were really.
It was vulgar. I mean, it
For
was
lack of better term, playing to the male audience.
Yeah,
that's
right?
exactly. But now you have like
tuned in for what, your bra and panties match.
Yeah. But now you have
like,
serious athletes.
Stars.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
What's the super ripped girl? Oh, Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. Dude, she's a stud.
For one, she's got shoulders I would pay money.
Oh yeah. Well, and they have so many championships. It's like they have. Before it was like you had a women's title that you barely saw, and it would be mostly the women like stripping down, and like that's what it was. And as a kid, I didn't care. I'm like,
that's how you got banned from watching that as a kid.
I was gonna say, that's what your parents walked in on while you were watching.
That's exactly it. Yeah,
it was The Rock 2 seconds ago.
Right.
But like now you have, if you have enough women that people care about, you can do a whole pay-per-view based on them, and you have like a world title, you have tag team titles, you have secondary
the fact that
titles,
it's popular enough
there.
where you have, your UFC Ronda Rousey going in. I want to go into the UFC as a career move.
Yeah.
Like normally that's not like that's last minute desperation 15 years ago. Now it's all right. I'm going to move into this as a career path because it's going to be more lucrative.
These women are about to
than
sell
your
out a
brains
15,000 seat
knocked out.
arena.
Yeah.
And it's just women. Y'all should watch that pay-per-view with me.
I'll watch it,
It's on.
man.
It's July 12th. 12th or 13th. It's on Sunday.
Now that being said, the last time I watched WWE, the same thing happened. Even it doesn't play to the male audience as much, but there was one pin with Rhea Ripley.
She's the one.
It was the one pin, and it happens. And my wife walks through the room and is like, "What? What are you watching?"
But again,
I'm like,
inevitably, that's what's going to happen.
this is the moment.
That's
this is the one. I was like,
Somebody-
I swear she was just choke slamming.
Somebody
that girl.
asked her about that pin in an interview recently, and she laughed, and she's like, yeah, I do that on purpose because she's like, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is very ridiculous.
Yeah, she's like, I do that just because it's so
And in the
funny.
moment, I'm laughing, but of course, somebody walks in right then, and it's like, it's not what it looks like. I swear.
Yeah, she said her
Swear.
husband actually. She said her husband like calls it her sexy pin. Okay. So they'll laugh about it. He's like, he thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I'm
for
like,
sure, you
absolutely.
have to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Like,
but
you
No,
know
but it's like
what's
when
going
somebody who
on.
doesn't watch
Somebody
wrestling,
walks
that's
in.
when somebody walks in.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
Exactly.
And you're like, honey, here's my hands. my hands are up here. We're good. But no, I think y'all would have fun with the all women's one because they
down.
kill it now.
Yeah.
It's a totally different world.
She made me a fan of like women wrestlers because I'll be honest, I didn't even care about Ronda Rousey. I loved the UFC. I loved her in UFC. I loved her when she was she was wrestling for judo in the Olympics. But when she made it, I just didn't follow it. I saw one of Rhea's things. I was like, all right, this girl is cool. She's got she got swag. I'm down.
Yeah.
Like I want to see her beat the crap out of her.
Do you know what ruined it for her? What Ronda ruined it? Like,
What's that?
and it wasn't even. I wouldn't even say it's her fault.
Yeah.
She should have been the female Brock Lesnar. She needed to come in and just dominate and don't talk a lot.
Sure,
But what they did was
sure.
they brought her in and she's smiling and she's
Right.
friends, and then she would like the bell would ring and she'd try to be tough.
Yeah.
And then she would talk a lot. And
Right.
you're like, you're not as cool as we thought you were.
Yeah.
You're kind of nerdy. And it's
Right.
like, but it's not her fault. It's
Right.
like they
Right.
wanted
They
to
just
go and
didn't-
be smiley and
They
happy.
didn't play to her
direction.
strengths
No,
at that point.
her
Yeah.
strength was she's not good at talking on the microphone, so
Right.
don't have her talk.
Right.
Either give her like a manager or don't let her talk.
Right.
And don't have her be friendly, happy-go-lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
Have her be a beast and go
Right.
out there and just dominate every woman they have.
Right. Well, especially if she's taking the name of Rowdy Ronda,
Yeah.
at that point, it's like,
Yeah.
let her be rowdy at that point.
Her song was I don't give a damn about the reputation.
Oh, really?
And that was her entrance theme. And I'm like,
Right.
it's too peppy for her.
It really is,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. I'm like, they made her too peppy.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
let her just go out there and be
I
angry.
need some grit.
But I think that was
I need some grit
but that,
from
was,
my
that
Ronda
really
Rousey.
was at the beginning of the resurgence of the women going into it being super popular. So they needed a hero at that point, and just unfortunately she wasn't.
No, she wasn't it. She needed to be like a not be Stone Cold, but be like a Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Go
Right.
out there and just
Yeah.
be just destructive and
Right.
be just beating
Yeah.
up everybody, good or bad, and
Yeah.
you're like the anti-hero in some
Yeah,
ways.
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what she needed to be.
Absolutely.
That's my 2 cents on her, because I think her appearance is what her downfall was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people were just like, hey, you're not who I thought you were. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
All right, so I'm seeing. What'd you bring for James?
All right, yeah,
here?
we'll change shifts here.
Yeah.
So what I got here for you, there's a
All right.
chance you've seen it. I don't know.
Okay.
Because you're a horror person. I brought it
I
in
do.
hopes you didn't see it. So
Okay.
what I have for you today is Brightburn.
Oh, I feel like I have seen parts of this at the least.
I've seen
Is
it.
this
so good.
Yeah.
This is like the hero who's not a hero type movie. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with this is like a horror hero superhero, right? It's like he has superpowers, but it's really he's the main character of a horror movie, right? That's what I'm gonna say.
So
I think so.
Basically,
That's not far off.
You're not.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not.
I feel
far
like I've
off.
seen clips
So
of this
basically,
movie.
You've definitely seen clips. This is a more recent movie.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
So the story of it is like if
Wait,
Super-
James Gunn did this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome. So
I
if
need to watch this.
So
So-
if Superman,
Okay.
if Superman landed on Earth, and instead of using his powers for good, he turned into a villain.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I've definitely seen clips of this.
Yeah.
okay.
So what if he was a science experiment growing up and just
Yeah.
resented the world?
And this whole movie,
honestly-
is the kid version.
I like
He's
the
a kid. He's like a
idea
kid.
of
Yeah.
because this is something that bothers me about superheroes, right? They destroy everything,
Yeah.
and then we're like, yay!
Yeah.
But
Dude,
they've
you'd be in jail.
They've leveled a city though.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, we love you. You saved New York. New York is a desolate wasteland,
Did you
but
s-
you saved
But
us.
you did it.
Yeah, we have no power, no electricity, no water. But thank you for everything
Have you
you
seen
did for me.
Have you seen
Yeah.
Invincible?
the
the cartoon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's-
I saw part of the
All
first
right,
season.
well, there it is.
Is that Omni-Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
But so that's a big part of a lot of it. It's like, what's the fallout? It's like, congrats, you saved it, but you destroyed Chicago.
Yes.
What are you gonna do next?
And I did like that.
Yeah.
That, like talking about it.
Yeah.
Is this good though?
It is.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's one of those like
I love horror.
It's a fascinating thought because you're like, because Superman is just, he's the perfect human. Like he's the perfect human. He's unstoppable.
Right. He's beautiful.
So like his emotion, like
strong.
so when he doesn't know how to handle
He's a
emotions. He
dreamy
gets
man.
mad.
Yep.
Like it's literally the same powers as Superman.
Yeah.
And he thinks, and you can tell by his little cover in the front, he thinks he's being a superhero.
Right.
But he's not because it's all terrible things he does. It's very good. I highly recommend it for anyone who hasn't seen it. Brightburn.
This one I would love
good.
to watch just because of the idea. It's so different.
It's not overly gory. There's some pretty brutal things in it. There's a couple creepy things in it. And there's some stuff where you're like, oh wow. Okay.
And now, is there one where the guy isn't a kid? I'm pretty sure there's a superhero is a bad guy or scary type take where
there might be this because this one I don't know how old he gets, but he gets.
This isn't a very. It's
like teenage. I would say doesn't get past teenager.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very least, he's a teenager.
It's focused as youth. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
maybe this is
strictly
the
like.
one I've seen.
Are you thinking maybe was it Chronicles?
Oh, Chronicles really good.
Possibly.
So Chronicles is a very similar one, but the Chronicles is with like 3 like older high school kids that get powers.
Young
and then
Michael
they
B. Jordan.
Oh, it's like found footage almost.
Yeah,
right?
it's found footage. Young Michael B. Jordan.
That one looked cool.
Yeah,
that one's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see what year this came out in.
20.
It's got to be on here somewhere.
I'm gonna say 20.
Mid 2010s, right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think it's older than I think.
2020. No, offer expires 2020.
So probably let's say 2019.
Yeah, probably somewhere around
there.
Yeah.
Any offer that's gonna expire. But yeah, you've seen Brightburn.
Yes.
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I'm like
because I love so I'm not a huge like horror fan, but I love superheroes, and so that's a great mix. Where it's just like, what if they're just a little edgier on purpose at that point? Like, and I do it properly.
Same thing. He lands in a farm like Superman.
Yeah,
has his parents who love him. So it's like it's nothing where it's like he should.
I'm gonna have to watch this one. This one I have to watch.
Because it's a good thing for you because you're not a huge superhero person, but you love horror.
Yeah,
so when you watch spin, like I'm a big fan of like just a spin on things you enjoy.
Yes.
Because every now and then you're like, okay, I love this, but if you can just change it a little bit, I'm in, just to give it a different feel. So that would be right.
And I really liked the show, not a movie, but the show, The Boys.
Yep.
Kind of that same, it's like superheroes, but taken to the next.
Yeah, it's a different version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if this still works, but that's
Dude, I was just reading this. I was like, no, this is the offer that expired in 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, but I do have a Roku, so I might try it just to see what happens.
Well, do y'all have a Blu-ray player and stuff?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, I was like, if y'all do,
your PS5.
I have a PlayStation, so there you go.
PS5 works.
You can borrow it if you want.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Would that be easier?
This one will be. This is going to be a good movie to watch.
Yeah, because if you have a PS5, then that'll work. I mean, the Blu-ray's in there too. So even if you had,
it's the sole reason why I still have I do the consoles that have the disc players because it's the only DVD player / Blu-ray player.
we have one in our living room, and then like everything else is like the Xbox and whatever. So yeah,
I
definitely watch it.
I have a PS5. I can't tell you the last time I watched a DVD. You gave me a bunch of.
I gave you a bunch of random B-rated horror movies.
Me and Haley played one, and she's so not interested.
Of course not.
She's so not interested. I love all horror movies. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not a movie guy. A good horror movie or a bad horror movie, I'm in it the same.
You gotta watch. Which one did y'all watch? Do you know?
No, I don't remember.
It
was around the time that you gave it to me, but I've watched every B-rated horror movie on Netflix. I've even watched some that aren't on Netflix, like. Dude, and there are some sketchy sites out there to download horror movies from. But
you got to be careful.
There's some
take your word on that.
Bad physical gags in horror movies, and I love every one of them.
Oh, dude, like
ketchup being squirted across the room. It's awesome.
There's this movie I love. It's an Italian horror film, and they dub it English, so it's like, but it's from Italy, and it's called Pieces, where his weapon of choice is a paperclip.
Oh, interesting.
So he's like a scene where it's
like Deadeye from Daredevil.
Yeah. It's like it's first person, his arms out here, and he's like heavy breathing, and it's just a paper clip, and he's just like. But it's one of the best cheesy horror movies of all time. It's so good.
Oh, dude,
like good old Italian flicks.
Oh, dude, you gotta love the Italian cinema.
Yeah.
That's my Italian cinema.
That's good. I like that.
Slight transition. So, what's your top 5 westerns? If you're gonna go, not spaghetti westerns, but that's what triggered it.
Sure.
Or what's your top 5 westerns then?
Okay, we're gonna go Brokeback Mountain.
Starting off
five times.
No. I made a list.
Like an actual list on that one.
Hold on.
All right.
I had to text myself because I was going to forget. All right, I'm going to throw out one. This is an honorable mention.
Okay.
Because it is not a movie. Technically
interesting.
speaking.
Okay,
it's
so
a miniseries.
Okay.
but this was before miniseries were a thing. It came in a 4-part box set.
Okay.
Lonesome Dove. With,
okay.
is it Robert Duvall?
Yeah. Ooh, now that's
great
throwback
show.
right there.
Love it.
I love Robert
But
Duvall.
not a technical movie.
That's good.
No,
like
but
it.
you're
And
very right.
I will only say this because I was like, okay, I need to refresh my mind. I'm going to think about some movies. So I was looking. And I was like, man, I can't find Lonesome Dove anywhere on IMDb.
It's so long since I've seen
because they
Lonesome Dove.
list it as a TV series.
I haven't heard the name Lonesome Dove in a long time.
It'd be a fun one to revisit.
It makes me so scared to jump. Every time I jump into a river, I think of the scene. I don't know how familiar y'all are, where the young guy is crossing the river and he hits a nest of water moccasins.
Oh no!
And there's just a scene where he's like, and like one latches onto his face.
Oh.
I will never live that scene down. We went to the river and floated the river.
Yep.
The whole time down, all I'm thinking of, I'm gonna get bit in the face by a water moccasin.
That's the blessing and the curse when you see a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You just seen a bunch of movies or
Right.
scenarios. You're like, this is gonna happen.
That could happen.
Yeah. So all right, we'll go. I'm not stuck on the order, so if somebody wants to reorder
So that's
them,
the thing.
I'm good.
All of my top lists
These are my top
always
five.
like top 5 in general.
We could argue
yeah.
the top 3
in
in any order you'd
in
give
any
them.
specific
Sure.
order. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rio Bravo number 5.
Oh.
Which I don't know if y'all are
I
familiar.
have not heard.
And
of
I've heard of
yeah.
it.
Now
Yeah.
Rio Bravo, I'm gonna get the dates wrong. Also has a remake, and I can't think of the name of it. But the only difference is they changed one character's name, reshot the whole movie.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Both of them were great.
Just
movies.
scene for scene.
Like it was
Just like
essentially scene
just
for
shot
scene,
for
except
shot.
for the only difference is like the main character he was a drunk, so he couldn't shoot anymore because of the shakes.
Yep.
In the other, he got tired of shooting, so he would throw knives, which I know sounds like a ninja in Western times.
Okay.
But it
love
was
it.
really good.
Sure.
Anyway,
I'm all for it.
so all right, and then I've got number 4, right? And like I said, top 3 you can argue any order: the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a
You
quintessential
can't
Western.
argue that. Yeah.
You gotta
It's a
have it.
beautiful movie. Number 3, people might not like this one. I say it counts. Django.
No, absolutely.
I have
love
100% agree
Django.
with Django.
Absolutely.
It has to be.
Absolutely.
It's just so good.
Like I said, my top 3, Django, and the next 2, or any order you want, I'm fine with it. True Grit, I'd say the original, but I'd throw the remake if somebody likes it better.
True
for
Grit.
the
Yep, okay.
the
True Grit.
thing. And then Unforgiven. I'll throw
Okay.
a little bit. What is his name? Is Clint Eastwood?
Unforgiven, yes.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
That's
you
a
would
great
like
movie.
Okay.
You should watch that movie.
When did that was that like young Eastwood or
See,
middle
Eastwood,
age?
even when he was 18, looked like he was 40.
So it came out in 92.
I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
say, he wasn't
92,
young
Clint,
young
so
yet.
Clint
Okay.
Eastwood is relatively, but he's like, what, 80 now?
Yeah,
So
he's
even
like 80, so
92,
he's
still an
middle
old
age.
guy.
yeah, 40s at that
Still an
point?
old dude.
Yeah,
But it's
all
a
right.
great
Unforgiven.
movie.
Okay.
And it's got it's just got such good cinematography,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
honestly, my list probably wouldn't be far off. Westerns
Really?
wouldn't be far from
Yeah.
yours. I think I would probably take off Lonesome Dove, and if I was sticking to like movie,
Yeah.
I'd put Tombstone on there.
Tombstone's
Yep.
a great movie.
Because I love Tombstone. Like
Great movie.
I recently was watching clips of just the whole Wyatt Earp
Yeah.
scene, and
Yes.
I'm like, I'm sorry, not Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday.
Yeah, Doc
like just the
Holliday.
whole Doc Holliday stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that alone puts
Yeah.
Tombstone just like absolutely
Up there.
top. I love Tombstone.
I would honestly throw up Blazing Saddles. It's a comedy,
yeah.
but it's such a
but
good.
technically, I mean, it's
It's
technically
such
a Western,
a good
so yeah.
Western,
Yeah.
just esque type of thing.
Same vein,
Yeah.
McClintock. I don't know if y'all have ever seen
Yep.
it.
Oh yeah.
McClintock is hilarious. And the comedy westerns, there's only like a few.
There's
that are
only
good.
a
There's only
few.
a few good ones.
And
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that's what it's like. I'd put Blazing Saddles up
Blazing
there.
Saddles,
Maybe
so-
it's not a top 5, but it's on the top 10 list.
If it was a
I
top
would've
10,
said, yeah.
at very least honorable mention, just for the sake of it being like, if you're going like it's a spoof on westerns,
Yeah.
Yes.
and you go okay because
But
of
it's
that you
still
put it
a
at 6. but
fairly,
still
it's a
Western.
good, well done Western.
Yeah, 100%.
Even with
The
all
one
the comedy.
I think people will disagree with is Rio Bravo, just because it's a John Wayne movie. Most people will say The Searchers, maybe The Shootist, or if you go away from John Wayne, 310 to Yuma. I think that would be a big one.
Yeah.
People put
Dude,
on.
I love the remake.
I love the
310
remake of
with,
310 to Yuma with
uh,
Christian
Oh,
Bale.
with,
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like the original's great, but I'm
original's
a big
so
fan of the new one.
And
I
Russell
say new one,
Russell
but
Crowe in there too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of need to rewatch that.
I love
know,
the
we gotta
remake.
have some-
I
there's
remember
some
when
good
it came
ones
out.
out there.
That was
There's some
when
good
I saw
ones.
that one in theaters, and
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh.
When I like Stagecoach. Stagecoach is really good.
I'd
And
say the-
Hondo.
Hondo's awesome.
Hondo's good.
Great.
I'd say the original Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Magnificent Seven.
That
I
was
thought
fun.
about that one a
Yeah.
lot. I
The
was
remake
like,
is decent, but the original one, you can't beat the remake.
Yeah, I don't think the remake did justice.
No.
But I don't know that any remake
I
should do
also
justice to that movie.
I was also in band, and I played the Magnificent Seven at like pep rallies.
Okay.
All the time, so
Yep.
I've had that like it just
Yep.
in my mind ingrained as
Right.
one of the quintessential soundtracks at
yeah.
that
Yeah.
point.
Soundtrack can go a long way.
Oh,
And,
absolutely!
Like if you have a good
That's
score,
why I think
a good soundtrack,
to me
like, it can go a
Django is
long
up
way.
there because of the soundtrack.
And
Yeah.
to that, a lot of these have good soundtracks. Rio Bravo, I know that, like I said, that's
No,
the one
that's a
people-
classic soundtrack.
That
like,
soundtrack was so good. It
Yes.
had Ricky Nelson and Dean Martin on it.
Oh,
With
hell yeah.
Robert Brennan back up singing, or not singing, he was playing harmonica on one of the tracks.
Huh.
It's just like a quintessential,
Yeah.
like old style music.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And Lord knows Dean Martin had musical talent.
Oh yeah,
Ricky Nelson.
You don't
Who's
say.
He has a future in the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
He had a
Stick with
he
it,
had
kid,
stuff,
yeah.
Yeah, and I have recency bias because I just watched it, but Bone Tomahawk, for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, I still haven't
and the
seen
reason
it.
why I say you would like it is because one, you're Western, but two, you're a horror.
Yeah.
And it's classified as horror because it's just very brutal.
Right.
But it's based on like realism. Like
Yeah.
they're cowboys, but there's like the like savages and not necessarily
Yes.
Indian, but just savages out there.
I do have a question for my non-Western horror that actually watch movies.
Let's do it.
You gave your top 5.
Mm-hmm.
You did. You haven't given yours yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. I do have a question. How much of it is story? Because for me, how it's shot in the non-Western world, like how it looks, makes a huge
Like
difference.
cinematography.
Yeah.
So you prefer like do you
Yeah, so
base it
this
more
is
on
so
like if you think does
subjective.
it like looks
Yeah. I'm just curious.
like you feel well so story
Not like effects, just how it looks
Yeah,
from the
just-
frame. And I'll give you an example from your list, and this is what brought it to my attention.
All right, yeah. So
For
yeah.
me, Lion King being animated, and I also have some other issues with Lion King.
Yeah.
I love Lion King. I think it's a story as old as time, so it wasn't original. It was original in that they did it really well, but that story's been told a bunch, right? The prince's dad dies.
I
he
mean,
has to
you
rekindle.
could pull that story anywhere.
Of
you
course,
know?
and it's the story as old as time. But the other movies, dude, they're shot beautifully.
Yeah.
But an animated can't be shot beautifully like that.
So-
No,
it's
but
different.
you could argue so that it comes down to artwork as well. So like
comes
for
down to artwork,
example,
yeah.
like some of the artwork that you had with like all right, we'll take Lion King for example
Yeah.
of just any of the big landscape
Pride
movements,
Rock's, like-
any Pride Rock where the transition from Pride Rock
Can
going
totally see that.
from desert
Yeah.
to that, and so this is where music comes involved as well.
The Lion
Hans
King
Zimmer
score.
Yeah, the score is
It's
amazing.
timeless.
And so Hans Zimmer, shout out my all-time favorite composer,
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer. That combined with the artwork and
Yeah.
the scene of where it's going from he just won Pride Rock, going from desert,
Yeah.
rain to glory at that point. That is one of the coolest, just gripping scenes at that point.
I agree. Lion King is great.
But so yeah, so to your point, I
But
can understand where you're coming
I
from.
feel
though.
like animated dates faster.
it does so if
A lot of
it
the time.
it does
'Cause think
but
about
that's
it,
where story has to be good
Story has to be good.
because if
Yeah.
the story's
And I'm
not
a-
good it does date.
I expect you to go with Toy Story. I thought if an animated movie made the top list,
I was- I was very
no,
close.
No, I love
because
Toy
the story
Story.
is strong in Toy Story.
Yeah.
I would say the cinematography, the visuals, not as strong in Toy Story.
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, I have because I wrote my top 5. I have an animated in mind.
Okay.
but
Let's
it's
hear
not.
yours.
Let's hear your
but
top
it's not
five.
what
Yeah.
you would think it is.
Yeah.
So it's so the only one that will be in order will be my number 1 favorite movie. Everything else
Okay.
is kind of like you can
Okay.
shuffle
Yep.
whatever. So my number 1 movie of all time is Casablanca.
This is a classic.
So and kind of like you say, like when you look at it, it's dated, it's black
Right,
and white.
right.
You can obviously tell it's one of the studio lots
Yeah.
somewhere.
Sure.
I'm like, but it's very timeless in the fact that it's historical, so you have
Yeah.
history there. It's a love story. It's a war film. It has iconic music in it. It's quoted like everywhere you go. It's like any.
Oh, tons.
It's
Yeah.
quoted. There's quotes from it everywhere.
Yeah.
The "Play It Again, Sam" and
Yeah.
"Here's to
Yeah.
You, Kid." Like
Yeah.
it's one of the most iconic films of all time.
Right.
My reasoning for like it is when I was first getting into movies, I was a freshman in high school and I had to sign up for something, and I did a film class. And every movie we watched was kind of had to be a little bit more dated, like had to be
Right.
something older. And the first thing we did was about Casablanca, so we got to learn a lot about how it was made, you know, the
like
set pieces, the
in-depth study
actors,
on it.
and
That's
so like
cool.
that same thing with Singing in the Rain. We watched during that,
Yeah.
and we, you know, it's like you learn all these things, and so that was the one that really started me off getting to more like, oh, I like that movie versus like, oh, I love how this movie was made, or I love the story. Or
yeah, when you
got,
actually start paying attention to the details of it, that really does help break it down.
Yeah. So Casablanca is that one in our movie room. You know, I have the poster. I have like a cassette tape of it. I have this like a steelbook version of it, a VHS. Like I have a lot of copies of that movie just because there's different versions. But yeah, so that's my number one. In no other particular order, Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Sure.
I absolutely love a Jurassic Park.
The score for Jurassic Park, I love. John Williams is up there on my top composers as well.
John Williams score.
Oh man, his score for that is one of the most beautiful like French horns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those. It rides a fine line because it's a great movie. But back to your point, if dinosaurs looked horrible, it would be dated. It'd be that thing where you go back and go, "This is a great movie, but it looks a little funky."
It looks like
like they used real dinosaurs. Like they
some of those
made
were like if
dinosaurs.
Disneyland went a little rogue at that point. Yeah.
So like Jurassic Park, I love. It's again super quotable. So much historical moments.
Yes.
John Hammond. I rewatched the scene recently of them talking. It's like when they're like about to eat and they're talking about like Jeff Goldblum's characters and they're telling him about like, you know, y'all were so busy that you didn't think about should you be doing it or whatever.
Right.
Like that whole dialogue of that just 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's some of the best writing I've ever heard. I'm watching it. I'm like, this is some of the best like conversation like ever because it seems like a real conversation.
Yeah.
So Jurassic Park. I tried to. So here's one of my top 5. I put in there things that I revisit a lot or I have sentimental reasons for to make my top 5. So the next one is Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire is one of the best movies ever.
I do love.
Interesting.
I love Spider-Man 2.
Now that you say it, that is
the
one of my
score is
favorite
great.
superhero
I would have expected
films.
you to say Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
No,
So
no,
Spider-Man
was good too.
2 is the better
As
Yeah.
well.
like
because
as a general movie.
his conversation
for sure.
with like Doc Ock, his conversations with Dr.
Yeah.
Octavius before he's bad is some of the best
For
writing.
sure.
The effect, there's some questionable effects in there,
Sure.
but there's not a lot.
No, the
So I'm
whole
like,
movie was
okay, I
really
can look
done
past
well.
it. But it's
Right.
like, then the music in there. I remember when I watched it. I remember when I saw it in the theater as a kid,
Right.
And like getting goosebumps during the
Yeah.
score because
Oh,
again,
yeah.
it goes back to just having a great score. Like I love Spider-Man 2. Moulin Rouge, I put on there.
Okay.
Love Moulin Rouge because I'm a big musical guy,
Yep.
and so
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge is one that I watch a lot, and I like the music's great, story's really good. It's the boy who directed Elvis.
See, I'm right there with you because one of my
Yeah.
favorite Christmas movies is actually it's White Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
It's the musical White Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's like
Interesting.
so it's like
And
I'm right there with you.
It's the time period. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi for all the
Yep.
folks out there. So like the music's great, sings great. The story's just so sad.
Yeah.
It's in Paris in like 1910 or whatever it was.
Right.
And then my last one, for my animated, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Really?
Love it.
Okay.
It's so there's so many
even know
animated
what that
movies.
is.
But obviously you can tell by my hat I'm a huge Batman guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I knew I wanted a Batman one in there, I went with that one because I'm like, and it goes back again with the animation. It's dated, but it's also timeless. In fact, it's hand drawn. It's dark.
Right.
It's a great love story. It's a great mystery. I remember when you watch it, you're like, this is the actual this is a great detective.
So that's the thing,
Batman's
it's like,
trying to solve this crime.
For superhero, just either movies or shows, the animated movies I think are above and beyond so much better than any of the Marvel or DC.
Because stuff now you watch it and you
movies.
go, it's fine. That was good.
Yeah.
It was a good
Yeah.
animated movie or whatever, but it
Right.
doesn't hold up.
Right.
Because you go, I can watch it, want to be done.
Yeah.
But then like you watch these ones that are
also-
older and you're like, oh, this stands the
And
test.
then it's like to the point with like for effects and stuff. Like whereas animated drawings could get dated, it's also you really if you saw an animation from the 80s versus an animation now, if they're true animation, they actually look very similar.
Oh, yeah.
But the way that you can portray like special effects and stuff,
Right.
or like for example, like Green Lantern's ring, the movie was hot garbage with how they tried to do the Green Lantern effects
Right.
and everything.
And you're like, this is already doo-doo
But like
and
if
it
you
just
watch
came
like
out.
Justice League Unlimited, or any of like
The animated ones, yeah.
they because it's a flawless way of being able to animate any of the contraptions
Yeah, of
that they're
course.
doing, or like Aliens, for example.
Yeah.
Aliens always look hokey. Doesn't matter if it's CGI
Oh, yeah.
or if it's costume real effects. But if you animate it, it looks pristine because it blends with everything else. It's not a noticeable that's real, that's fake type of thing.
Well, and with Mask of the Phantasm, like it's Mark Hamill's best version of Joker.
Yes.
Because Mark Hamill playing the Joker in the animated series was already good.
Yeah.
But he does so good in this movie, and that's why I'm like they put him in the video games, the Arkham games too. Because I'm like he just does so good.
Yeah.
So it's his best version of himself in this movie. It's a great mystery.
Yeah.
And the thing is with animated movies back then versus now, I think. We want a good story first.
Right.
If the story's really good, and then the animation's like the animation has to be good too to an extent. But like what'll make it be in somebody's top 5 or somebody revisiting it is if it's a great movie.
Yeah.
If it's a good movie, you'll go back to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And if y'all haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm, it's so good. Like,
I've not seen it. No.
It's amazing. It's really good.
I have a hard time with animated movies.
Exactly. So
I lose
yeah,
interest.
and
No,
I
that's
get
fair.
that. Like,
Yeah.
and you're not a big superhero person either. So like those are already two whammies.
It's
'Cause
rough.
It's like if
It's
you're
rough.
not a
Yeah.
big superhero person.
Yeah.
But what's so good about it is it's like if you look past the animation, you'll go.
Is it long?
No, it's like an hour.
No,
and
and
10 minutes.
that's also the plus side of,
It's not long at all.
animated
Behind a
movies.
short movie.
It's not
Because
long at
it's so time consuming and expensive to do long form animation
They get it done.
and to do it
Animation.
properly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hand-drawn.
So
I
that's
prefer
why a
hand-drawn.
lot of those so that's why a lot
Hand-drawn
of those
animation.
are shorter films. Hour and a half is
At
really
most.
pushing
Yeah.
like the budget for. Well, that's why like Disney movies are hour and a half because they just have the budget to push it that long.
So it's not a large investment. It's one of those like you could put on just to see if Judy likes it.
Yeah.
Like just put it on and just be like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, just see what happens.
But then you watch
probably
it,
love
yeah.
He watches all that stuff.
yeah.
So and my honorable mention because I think we all needed one was Jaws.
Go
Oh,
for
for
it.
sure.
I love Jaws.
Yeah.
Like just again, I'm a big dialogue guy, so like the whole
Yep.
thing with Quint telling his story about being part of the oh my gosh, the bombing, you know, when he's stuck and he's telling the whole story of like when he was stuck in the water and hearing everybody, you know, screaming and then suddenly the screams stop because all the sharks have eaten them. And just that whole scene is the most eerie scene. And the actor Robert Shaw got drunk like to film that scene. He was like, I wanted it to feel real, so he got like wasted to film that scene. So he had that kind of like sadness and depression.
That's kind of the similar of Apocalypse Now, where he
yeah.
did that whole. Have you ever watched Apocalypse Now?
I don't think so.
So that's
It doesn't sound familiar.
No,
like
so
that
that's it's an '80s Vietnam type of.
I've watched a
war
lot of those
movie.
movies, but
so
I
think
haven't-
like the last half of Full Metal Jacket,
Sure.
where it's set in Vietnam.
Yeah.
That's Apocalypse Now, but way more extreme.
Okay.
There's a scene where one of the characters
Yeah.
gets has this whole existential crisis in his room, and
Right.
the actor got wasted
to have
and
the
like
rises,
went
I like
full
that.
actor, was punching
Yeah.
glass and whatnot, and did
Like
really committed to it. Yeah.
Who's the scumbag? What's his name? DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah.
When he slammed the table, cut up his hand,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
just kept going.
He just kept going.
Yeah.
He's like rubbing it all over that girl's face.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't watched enough normal movies to make a top 5. But
Okay.
for me, when I think of story, cinematography, one that I would put in there, and I want to know y'all's opinion, is The Patriot with Mel Gibson. And
a great movie.
That's a
the
great
kid
movie.
from
Excellent movie.
Joker. What was his
It's
name?
Joaquin
Is that his name?
Phoenix.
No.
Was he young in that one?
No,
He
was that Heath Ledger?
Oh no, Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
Heath Ledger.
he was Mel Gibson's son.
'Cause he's,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think of that
And-
scene all the time.
Oh, dude, that seems
it's
awful.
Yes.
devastating. I'm
But
like,
as far as story and
It's
cinematography,
great.
that
Yes.
would be up there for me.
Also,
like, that to
but
me
also
is a
with
perfect movie.
It's great.
the music
the
as
music's
well.
so
The
good.
soundtrack is amazing.
A little too emotional to watch all the time.
Yeah.
all the
yeah,
time.
you have.
yeah.
It's a palate cleanser.
It's the same with the Last of the Mohicans. Type
Something like that.
Same
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
Great movies, but
There's
dude,
some
you
good
gotta
ones
get
like
some
that,
time
man.
in between.
And that's what
that.
I think puts a lot of those kind of movies outside of my top 5,
Yeah.
top 10, because it's like those are like you're so emotionally drained at that point where it's like I'm not gonna
Saving
watch
Private
it.
Ryan could be the same though.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan
It's a
would be
heavy
one that's
movie.
Yeah, so, like,
the whole time.
Green Mile is
Yeah.
one that's very.
Oh, I
oh,
love
it's
the Green Mile
devastating.
hits you.
I'm trying to get
hard.
Caitlin to watch it.
So
with
that's
me.
a Steven.
That one, I wouldn't watch that one again.
No, I've been trying to
Yeah,
get
it's
her
like
to
Oh
watch
no,
it.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You can only cry so much.
I
It's,
told her I'm like
an
it's
excellent
so
book.
Dude, that. Yeah.
I know.
That's a
I'm
rough-
like there's so many.
It's the same kind of thing of Mice and Men at that point too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, because
going
if
back.
you've read the book before you see the movie, you know where it's going.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we read the book
It makes
before we
it
watched the movie, and I'm
worse,
just like,
too.
man, I don't want to get to the rabbits. I want to get to the
Yeah.
rabbits,
Yeah.
George. I'm trying to think that another one that was pretty sad. Hotel Rwanda's great.
Yeah.
That one it has Don Cheadle in it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's
Okay.
so good. But
Yeah.
like the whole tragedy of Rwanda is just so
Right.
sad.
Yeah.
Right.
And like it's a great movie. But
Yeah.
I remember watching it and just feeling like I need to go take a bath after. I'm
Yeah.
like, I need to go wash this
Yeah.
off me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you just feel
Yeah.
just icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you watch something you weren't supposed to. You're like, I didn't know we
Yeah.
watching this.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Like that, and then trying to think of any more, like Bridge Over River Kwai. I'm
Yeah.
really loving.
Oof.
Patton was great.
Patton was good.
Patton was really good. But like some of those more, like anytime you watch like a film or historical film,
Yeah.
I'm like, you kind of know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
Schindler's List, I love, but
Oh
I
my
probably
gosh,
watch it
that's-
once every 8,
Yes.
10
So
years.
that's what I think.
Yes.
Like, that's why, like on my list, and we can
That's
go
a
over my
long
list
palate
real
cleanser right there.
Like,
That's that one.
Yeah, because that's like Saving Private Ryan on my list, where it's like the first quarter of it is like that. Even just the first opening scene is just so real.
It's so real.
And so
The opening scene is bad,
Yeah.
and then it crescendos really hard where you forget what the mission is.
Yes.
They're slowly losing people as time
Yes.
goes on to save this guy, Ryan.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, you remember, oh yeah, it's because they're all dead.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Spoilers.
left.
Yeah.
It's like a 25-year-old movie.
Yeah. Well,
Still,
probably one of the most watched movies.
like,
Yeah.
literally everybody dies
Yeah.
except for Private Ryan
Yeah.
at the end.
And
Like,
it's
that's
like-
It's horrible.
so, and that's also on top of all of the initial thing. All of his brothers died.
Yes. Well,
like
in that vein, not a movie. Honorable mention for me would be Band of Brothers.
yes.
Of course, I like war movies, so
No,
Band
but
of
that's-
Brothers is great.
I would
oh, cinematography is.
I would
beautiful.
say
Did you watch
Band of
Pacific?
no.
it's
I've not
good.
seen that
It's not
yet.
quite as good, but it's very much up there.
Yeah.
I want to see the Masters of the Air as well.
that'd be
Yeah.
a good
That's
one.
that
I
would
haven't
be
seen
really. But
that.
like I would say Band of Brothers as for a short series like that is probably the best. Is probably the best short series period.
Yeah, like I treat miniseries as movies because that's basically what they are. They're just
Yeah.
long form movies.
exactly.
Because it's not something. It's not like it's episodic, but only for
But yeah, like
Right.
Band of
depending
Brothers,
what
I
it
think is the most complete
Oh,
series.
yeah.
For like, if you want story, if you want cinematography,
I
if
feel
you
like
want
we've
music.
discussed this before.
Yeah.
I think they should do that more.
yeah.
Give me a
100%.
miniseries where you kill it for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
and then
HBO
cut
does a great
Well, that's
job of
why
that. The,
yeah.
the Chernobyl. You want to be scarred?
HBO
Chernobyl.
really
watched
does
that
a good
yet.
job
Oh,
of
you
that.
want to? If you
Yeah, I
want
haven't watched
to,
that
if
yet.
you want to, like, you already know what happens at Chernobyl, and if you want to be harrowed
Horrible.
by the actual severity of it, oof.
Yeah, that's what I'm like,
that
I-
is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
and I don't know if y'all have seen. I think it's HBO is producing this, but they have like a little horror movie production company,
Oh,
and it's the same 5 actors, and they literally just make horror movies together.
that's awesome.
They're
That's
all
cool.
quality horror movies.
Okay.
And you
Yeah.
can tell. Obviously, it's the same production team. It's the same guys doing it every time. All the effects, movie to movie, all the same.
That's cool.
But the stories are different.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is really
and
good.
that's and sometimes that's all you need. That's
Yeah.
like
They tell me one story. That's all I need. I just need a story for a
well,
movie.
like, and I get when people get mad lately about like how shows used to be 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a miniseries guy anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm like, if you give me good 8 episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quality.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't need 20 episodes of a.
If I'm watching 20 episodes, I'm going for character relationship.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother. I just
Yeah.
want to see the people.
I want a
have
good
good time.
overarching plot.
So,
Yeah,
Seinfeld,
exactly.
Friends,
Yeah.
something like that, where it's like The
Yeah.
Office.
I'm telling a story where it's just based on the characters'
Yeah.
perspectives of this
Yeah.
particular
Exactly.
everyday
Yeah.
situation.
Give me 8 episodes. Like I've heard the second season, which devastates me, but I haven't watched it yet. But the second season of Last of Us, I've heard is not great.
I haven't
the first
watched
season
it.
I haven't
The
watched
first season
First season
was
was top
First season was
notch.
good.
amazing.
Very good.
Yes.
Speaking of cinematography again, just so well
Yes.
shot.
Yeah.
Just such.
And
a
I
I
great-
just like the attention to detail, particularly
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
They did really good.
I think I'm gonna just stick with the game. Like the
Yeah.
way I've heard. So I heard how season 2 ends,
Yeah.
and if you've played the game, they're still. I mean, I get why they're splitting it up because it's
Right.
so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the third season, like, have you played the game?
yeah.
Okay. So like how you know how like at some point it breaks off and then you play as Abby
Yes.
for like a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, she
The
becomes the
season-
main.
season
That's what
3
season
is-
3 is going to be
yeah.
Abby's story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So season 3 is
They
just
kind of
about
have to break it
Abby.
up just because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but I love when that stuff happened with Joel at the beginning and people were
Yes.
like, I can't believe they got rid of
And then
Joel.
everybody else
And
is-
I'm like,
Well,
Everybody who played the
guys.
games, like
Yeah.
we've talked
We were
about this,
dreading
like,
it.
watching people who didn't play the game because I didn't even watch the second season, but I was
Right.
like, we all know what's coming.
we feel
Yeah,
like we did.
exactly.
We feel like I'm
Yeah.
watched it. I'm like, it's fine.
I've deja vu. I've been
Yeah.
there before.
Yeah. Just horrible. I'm like, I don't need to relive it. We're
Yeah.
fine.
No.
We're good.
No.
Season 1, I wanted to see it because I'm like, oh great, okay, let's see how it goes.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Season 2, I'm like, I felt I felt dirty after playing the game. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need to play this anymore. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go over the rest of like my list because
Yeah.
I know we posted
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
socials.
Go check out the TikTok.
So-
I posted Marcos's on there.
Yeah. So So my honorable mention was Goodwill Hunting.
Oh, great
And
movie.
I go back to it over and over again, but like to your point where it's like it's got an amazing story, amazing
Yeah.
cinematography, but that's like it's still kind of it's not quite there.
If it was a
where-
top 10, it'd be there.
Yeah.
I would
I'd put
argue
Good Will Hunting in my top 10.
that's one where the story is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't hold up well enough.
Yes.
I don't think. Now the acting was great, I will say.
Yeah.
Every actor did fantastic.
Yeah.
But
because it was just such a low budget one.
It was just low budget. The cinematography could only get so good.
I think one of my favorite.
The story was beautiful.
One of my favorite speeches was Robin Williams' speech on the bench, talking about like what is love, what is you know,
and that's what
like,
did it. I think because there was nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You had Matt Damon and Ben Affleck who had nothing to lose.
Right.
And you had
Fresh out
Robin
of film
Williams agree to
school,
do it. Who was actually, people forget he was actually a good actor.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so comedic.
Oh my
You forget how
gosh,
serious he
yeah.
used to be. And I think
the dude went to Juilliard. The dude was amazing.
People forget.
Yes.
It's so
Well,
funny.
because his humor was a little bottom shelf.
Yeah, it was a little bottom shelf humor, but I think when you get Good Will Hunting, I think if we did a top 10, that definitely would be for me.
That's a great honorable mention.
Yep. And then on my actual list again, I would say my first number one, maybe the hard number one, but everything else you could argue I could interchange them.
Right.
Shawshank Redemption is probably
very good.
Like one up there.
very good.
Where
It's a
that's
great movie.
yeah, and then same thing where like the pacing of it is just so well done because and it's also one of the best adaptations of a short story that they made into a full length thing.
Oh yeah,
and it just was so well done.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Lion King, like you pointed out before, it's like to me, it's like the story has any of the stories can be done, but it's just like to me, it's like it's one of the best animated films, but it's also you have such a stellar cast. First of all, the amount of star power in those kind of in those kind of movies is just amazing.
Well, I think too when you get the Lion King, you go okay. It's how do you take a story that is so, I say one note, but very familiar. And you elevate it with like a James Earl Jones. Or like the voice acting, like Jeremy Irons is Scar.
Oh my gosh,
he's one of the best because it's poetry. I mean, it's Shakespeare. I mean, that's what it is.
And then just like the music, elevates it.
And those directors for Disney,
they were top notch. Yeah, they were top notch.
Yeah.
They understood you were telling the story through the voice.
Yes, absolutely.
They would have them people redo them. You see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you're going to say that 200 more times.
Because they treated it, because it sounds so dumb, but like they treated it with like respect.
Yeah.
Because now, like I hate to use the word dumbed down because there's some really good kid movies now. But like they dumb it down now. So like before it was kind of like, okay, kids just want loud noise and things like that.
Right.
And like so the story kind of comes secondary or third.
Yeah.
It's like, but back then it was like, okay, we were still trying to make a good movie. Like we want to want you to care. The actors do care.
And I've seen one of the behind the scenes where the guy stops the recording. He's like, "Yeah, you're singing beautifully. That's not what we wanted. We wanted you to sound good, but you're supposed to sound like this kid who's like losing it, or is like, in a existential crisis. Like they don't have perfect whatever right now. I need you to tone that down, ladies.
Right. I love that.
So, but yeah,
so funny.
And so the next, Saving Private Ryan on there. It's one of my favorite war movies of all time. Just
the
amazing.
cinematography was next.
Yes. Yeah.
It's because it's just it's such a depressing story, but it's so good to look at. You watch it and you feel like you're in this
talk about
experience.
star power.
Yeah.
Tons
all
of
that.
stars.
Oh yeah.
Vin Diesel in his first role ever.
Pre tank top and fast cars. Like
yeah. I know. And it was like young Matt Damon.
Yep.
Because he was kind of starting to make an appearance in a lot of stuff. Tom Hanks was like peak.
Yeah.
Well,
you get Tom Hanks.
He did such a good job.
He does.
Even with the voiceover stuff we say, like he killed it in that whole role.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's when he started to become more serious. Because in the 80s, early 90s, he was doing some pretty goofy things. And then he really took on serious roles and he nailed it. Like Green Mile. We were just talking about that. Like him in that movie, you're like, oh my gosh. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, Tom Hanks, what happened?
Yep.
Like, who hurt you in the early 90s?
Right.
Who hurt you? Like, oh, man.
And then Dark Knight for my top.
It was tough not to put that one in.
Yeah.
That was so good.
But it's just such a well-done superhero movie because it's like, it wasn't even like a superhero. It's more of just like it's almost like a view on like just the humanity at that point. Especially with like Heath Ledger and like his whole because the Joker really is just, it's pure chaos. Yeah. And it's just the perfect note on that.
Yeah. It's like indie chaotic evil through
and then another Hans Zimmer.
Oh really?
Yeah, Hans Zimmer soundtrack.
Because I almost feel like we could skip Batman Begins for him and just go straight to the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because like again, Batman's barely in Batman Begins.
Right. Because you haven't seen Dark Knight, have you?
No.
Oh, you.
Y'all are gonna hate me. So in high school, I had a friend who tried to show me. He was a good friend of mine, And so he sits me down, and my now wife was girlfriend then, and they're like, "You're gonna watch this movie," because they both love The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Dude, I made it like 5 minutes in, I'm snoring. So on the couch in my just snoring.
But personal
and they were
growth.
So mad.
You made
at
it
me.
through all 3 Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
You can make it through Dark Knight.
I
and
definitely
probably
could.
be more
I definitely
thoroughly
could.
entertained.
Hey, I say you don't start a movie like that at 11 p.m.
No,
No,
you absolutely
that's the
do
first
not.
mistake.
Yeah.
That's like you started at 7 or 8 o'clock,
exactly.
and you read. That's your evening right there.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna treat it like a Comic-Con.
But I would
Come
definitely,
dressed up
I
like
would definitely earlier in the day start that
for
movie
sure.
Yeah.
And
So-
well, on the transition, my top movie is Return of the King. That is one of my favorite. I would
1, 2, or 3.
third
Third
one,
one.
the
Third
third
one?
one, the last one. Yep, where they actually get the fire and get to
Yeah.
Mountain Doom and all that.
Which I get, because I 100% agree when people
Yeah.
put the third one in their top.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan of the second one.
The second one
I would
is
say, as somebody who
fantastic.
recently watched all
Yeah.
3 for the first time
Yeah.
ever, number 2 was my favorite. I feel like it was the most action-packed, though.
Yeah.
See, and what's funny is I would honestly think it's almost a little bit less because of Frodo and Sam's journey. Is just more. It's a
Yeah.
lot of the dialogue between
Right.
the two of them and Smeagol
Yeah.
and all of that.
'Cause-
Not to say that there isn't.
Is it?
but-
It's Helm's Deep, right? Is
Yeah,
the second
it's
one? So
Helm's
I
Deep,
think
yeah.
it's that battle alone, just
Yeah.
that stress of all
Yeah.
that happening.
Yes, that is true.
Now, the Battle of Helm's Deep was great.
Yeah.
But
the Battle of
so-
Helm's
Fantastic.
Deep, think,
I
is-
could see either.
I would follow up though by saying the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. That trilogy is the best trilogy of all time,
Yeah.
and I will argue that tooth and nail.
What other major trilogies are there? So you have Dark Knight.
Yeah,
obviously.
you
So
have your
Dark Knight
Batman
trilogy.
trilogies. You could argue your Star Wars, even westerns like your Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, the
Yeah.
Ugly. That type of trilogy.
Yeah, but the first ones were the good ones.
Yeah.
The best ones.
yeah.
I think the closest. So here's
I
the
feel like
problem.
Dark Knight would be its only runner.
Dark Knight would be a pretty close. I would even think that if it wasn't for the third one, Spider-Man could probably be up there because 1 and 2 were so good.
But that's
One
the
and
third
two
one was
But so
great.
that's my point. The Lord of the Rings trilogy are 3. People argue that any one of those 3 are the best movies on their list, and then you would say as it tells one complete story, and you also have some of the best cinematography. You have
Sure.
amazing acting.
Now, is that punishing Harry Potter for having 7 movies?
It depends.
No.
Because Harry Potter's in a league of his own.
Yeah, because then at that point you'd be comparing.
But even
You could compare Star Wars, before
Harry Potter.
Before it was
Yeah.
the argument was always Lord of the Rings versus the original trilogy. That was always the
Okay.
argument.
I
But then
would-
now there's 1, 2, 3.
I would definitely take Lord of the Rings.
7,
Yeah.
9, and
But but even if going just for, so this is where The Hobbit does a disservice. Where if you're going by franchises,
Yeah.
I would say if you're just doing the 3 Lord of the Rings movies, I would say that's the better franchise as far as storytelling
Sure.
goes over even like Harry Potter. I would say
Okay.
because
Yeah, that's
of
tough.
because Harry Potter it's started off as a kid's book.
Right.
And then went to a young adults type
Yeah.
of teens book.
Sure.
And so it had to shift.
it kind of grew with what ages. They were supposed
Exactly,
to be
which
in.
is
Yeah.
still great.
Yeah.
But I would still say even as a franchise, I would still argue that the Lord of the Rings is the most complete franchise.
Yeah, I could see that.
with those 3.
Because even the Hobbit, the problem with the Hobbit was they stretched out too long.
They really did.
It could have been
should
either
a
one good one or 2.
It should have been
Yeah.
2 good. You can fill 2 good movies with that one. They shouldn't have done the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll die on the hill that the trilogy is the best
Interesting.
trilogy of all
I
time.
could see that.
And I will dare anyone else.
You hear that, folks?
I'll argue that one. Yeah. It's
I'm gonna clip. We need to clip just that one part.
Yeah.
Of Hughes
Yeah.
being like, "It's the best trilogy." Oh, bring it! and then
cut his
that's
own
it.
promo.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
that's so funny. Yeah, it's tough because you can see arguments for everything.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Captain America fan too, and I love Captain America 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
But the problem where I could disqualify it on my own would be, they do reference so much of the other things around it.
Yep.
Because,
Yeah.
for instance, the Avengers movie or Iron
Sure.
Man or those movies don't have anything to they're not technically Captain America movies,
Right.
But everything that happens in the other 2
Yeah.
It's
reference.
still relevant.
You need to know the other information.
That's the hard part with trilogy. Getting more than 2 movies, you're dwindled list. Survivorship buys at that point. You've only got trilogies. You only got a handful.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the ones that did really good as trilogies, Star Wars, Harry Potter. You could argue some of the Marvels, or I guess all of Marvel. They went to 7 movies, or in Marvel's case, 1 billion movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a hard league to
Yeah.
be in. You're only playing with the top hitters.
Yep.
They got funding for only 3 movies from AAA titles. Come on.
Yeah, it's
Like,
tough.
Just to be mentioned, you'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on like
Because they're all $1 billion at that point.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings well over $1 billion. Has to be.
Oh,
Easily.
That's
Harry Potter printed money for 20 years straight.
Still printing money.
Still,
yeah.
for the most part.
Not
yeah.
at the speed it was.
No,
Like,
but
when
it's
was-
still incredible,
When Book
yeah.
7 was coming out, dude, you could buy Harry Potter anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was sold
It
out.
was gold money.
I had
Yeah.
pre-ordered my copy at Walmart. I remember I lived across the street
Yeah.
from Walmart.
There you go.
And when the 7th book was coming out, I'm like, okay, pre-order. go
Yeah.
do it. I walked
Yeah.
across the street, grabbed my copy. And
Yeah.
went home.
My parents bought me one of the books, and then we all came to the realization, I don't read. So who are we kidding here?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, neat, it's a big book.
Yeah. It's
And
hefty.
Not out of ignorance. I knew how to read people, but yeah, there's not a chance.
No, but like
on this
for
earth I was
people
reading
with
it.
like bad attention spans, yeah.
It took me a minute to get the courage to read the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Because like I remember reading 1, 2, and 3 in school. Like in
Yeah.
class we read them. And then the 4th one came out. And that was the one that was the first one that was massive. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yup.
Y'all want to know the book that ruined it for me? I'll just give this fun fact. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens.
Oh,
I could see that.
it was the best of times.
Yeah.
It was the worst of
I
times. It's the worst of
actually
times
didn't
reading that book.
hate reading up to
I
that.
love reading, and I hate that book.
That book came along, and I had to read it for a literature class.
Well, it's because for a
Same.
while that was like
Same.
the peak. Like it was meant to be like
Everybody
was
talks
supposed
about
to,
it.
yeah.
I'm like, this is the most boring book. I couldn't read a page without falling asleep.
What's funny is the how Les Mis is huge because
Yeah.
of the musical. The book is just as bad.
Is it?
Because if you
I've heard Pride and Prejudice like that.
you have to read the problem is there's an unabridged version and there's an abridged version. The
Oh,
unabridged
really?
version, he goes into the full French Revolution. He goes whole chapters into
Really?
the history of the
Interesting.
French Revolution that
Yeah.
have nothing to do with the
Yeah, we
plot.
stole Charlemagne, cut his
Yeah.
head off.
But it's the same thing where it's just
Yeah.
like it's so bland.
Well, it's like the movie equivalent is Citizen Kane, right?
Yeah.
I really
yeah.
like Citizen Kane,
Yeah.
but people hold Citizen Kane as the standard for like what a film should be.
Right.
But if it wasn't for, because have y'all seen it or heard it?
Yeah.
Okay, so like
I've seen clips.
There's a plot. So there's a plot twist in it, right? There's a whole
Right.
mystery. The whole
Yeah.
mystery. It starts with literally him on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes Rosebud. So the whole film is them trying to figure
Working
out what
backwards.
is that?
Yeah.
What the hell is Rosebud?
Right.
And like it's a good movie, but the problem is it's like what I consider it
Turns out there was
the
a
best
rosebud
movie.
out his window.
Yeah, basically he's like it was just well, and honestly the answer is it was simple. The whole point is them overthinking it, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then once they figure it, like they don't even figure it out.
Yeah.
Like they kind of end it with like a hey, here you go, and
Yeah.
we go oh
Yeah.
Everybody
shoot.
else goes, but they don't.
Yeah,
right.
and we go oh no, there it is.
Yeah.
And it's just the most simple thing. But like
Interesting.
that was the standard for movies for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And like it's a great movie, but like
And that's honestly my bone to pick with like modern movies of like The Irishman or something, for example, where it's like it's
Yes.
a 3-hour movie that
Yeah.
should have been 2 hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for it to be
I only made it an
that
hour and a half
long.
and turned that movie off.
But
I
because
love my movies.
No, but because it's Martin Scorsese
Yeah.
and all of your big actors, it's like no, but it doesn't need to be this long.
they did it to
drawn
do
out-
it. They didn't do it because it needed
Yeah.
to be.
Right, exactly.
Because
like,
if a movie's 3 hours and it needs to be, fine.
right,
Sure.
Get it. If you need to tell your story in 3 hours, do it.
right.
But if you're doing it just to do it, then it'll show.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll show in your work.
Because that's why it's like, for
100%.
example, like Return of the King is dang near 3 hours, 3.5 or almost 4 for the extended editions. But that's because they have so many different plots that you have to
Yeah.
round about. And even you could still say there are some areas that are a little bit too long, but it's still a justifiably 2.5, 3 hour movie
100%.
because of how
Right.
much is in there. But for some of these other movies, it's just 3 hours just because
3
you're
hours.
adding dialogue and
Yeah.
scenes that
Yeah.
have no business being there.
I will say, I am surprised. One thing, this is like my thought of the top movies. We didn't name Avatar or Titanic, which were the highest grossing, like quote unquote, most popular movies
it's
ever.
tough because they're great movies.
Avatar, I can see.
Avatar's-
It fell out early because of the technology was its thing.
Yeah.
But Titanic was.
I'm not a fan of the plot of Avatar. To me, is
Yeah.
just not there. It's literally just you go in and it's you can't have that, but I want that movie.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It just looks beautiful,
does
but
look
that's
beautiful.
but that's all it
No,
is.
I didn't think. I know. I've heard that about that story. I didn't think the story was that bad.
But I guess
For
no, it's
Avatar?
not that bad. But to me, it's not to the standard of it's like it's not a good. It's not a good invasion movie, or it's not the best invasion movie.
Right.
It's not the best love story. It's not
Right.
the best, and like you could argue Titanic is one of the best love stories.
Yeah.
I'm not of that opinion,
Yeah.
but you could argue
Sure.
that. But like Avatar is not the best at anything except for visuals, in my opinion.
I think I hate to say it, but Avatar at the time, it was a novelty.
Yes.
Because it was not an original story.
It's the hype.
At all. Like, it's a story you hear everywhere.
It was the hype that James Cameron spent so many years and X amount of dollars.
And 3D had just started to get
But
big.
I will say, this sounds similar to the argument with the animated movie where it's like, the story wasn't completely original.
It wasn't original.
The score was good and the visuals were good. It has the same argument. Mm-hmm. And that's it's coming from that same place where
I think
I used a story that maybe could have been
But I think what it
different.
does now when you go back and watch, like if you go watch
Cast
it now,
wasn't as good.
like if you go back and watch it now, you'll go, okay, it's not a bad movie, but then but nothing else stands out.
Right.
You remember it from when you enjoyed it then. So when you watch it now, you go,
I think the cast being
nothing
weak
stands
really
out.
hurt.
Yeah, like it doesn't stand out anymore.
Yeah.
So like I really enjoyed the movie, but like if you go back and watch a Lion King, you still have all the things you enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Avatar,
Imagine there
you
was
go,
a stronger cast though. I think that was a major misstep.
Yeah.
Because I still think it does single character.
We're about to get the third one. No, I couldn't tell you any of them.
The main actress is in a lot of other things that you'd recognize. She was in, I believe she was the one in Westworld as one of the main ladies.
She probably got that around the same time. Dude, if you could get a star-studded cast,
no, that's true.
That story, those visuals, that much money. Like imagine DiCaprio in it.
I still don't think the story was strong enough to be saved by even a good acting cast. Not that
it's
they weren't
interesting
good acting.
When it's not the highest grossing anymore.
No,
no, not anymore. I think
but it was.
What beat it? Wasn't Endgame.
It was it was Endgame. Because remember,
I was like something recently.
But y'all didn't mention any of the really quote unquote highest grossings.
Because
it's interesting how
I think
works.
a lot of
it's
the
weird
other
how it
ones,
works.
Yeah, I think it really does. Like a lot of hype came into those highest grossing ones.
Yeah,
and it's also just like a lot of more mass appeal.
Yeah.
Well, like
100%.
Like I love like the Marvel movies. The first set of Marvel movies I really enjoy. Endgame, you need Infinity War to enjoy Endgame.
Yeah.
And you also needed 10 years of buildup to get the grossing you did for Endgame.
Right.
So like for Endgame, as much as I love it, you need it for Infinity War, and I wasn't going to put both. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no, it makes total sense.
But it's like one of those things where like you would think that just shows you like longevity.
I bet you,
or money doesn't necessarily correlate with like an all.
And I bet you, if you ask, certain females, Titanic is going to be up there for some of their top movies because it's. Although here's the thing, like Titanic, I could argue being one of my, I wouldn't say top 10, but I'd say top 20 movies.
Maybe a top 20.
Because it's like visuals, it's amazing visuals, music is phenomenal.
Acting
story,
was really good too.
acting is really, really good.
Titanic really is a great. I mean, if you're gonna go, okay, which James Cameron movie, which is the director, who am I gonna pick? I would choose Titanic.
Yeah.
Saying that, every one of these had top-notch actors.
Oh, it was great. And
so really, that you're playing a game, you gotta have those.
Yeah, that is true.
You need something attached to them to like, because who was it? It was Sigourney Weaver, right? And she in Avatar. That's probably the biggest name that was in Avatar, I think.
Is that her name?
Yeah, who played Ripley in
Aliens.
Yeah. So like she was probably their biggest name. They had other names there, but like she was their biggest name.
Nothing like these other casts.
No, not at all.
No.
Even compared to Lion King. Lion King had a huge cast.
Absolutely.
And I would argue,
characters.
I would argue how long it took for the sequel for Avatar probably pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah. But even then,
Avatar, watch the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel came out like last year.
Again, the whole thing about that, it was the same thing as the first one. They just redid. They essentially broke like some sort of ground with the water animations. That's where I follow or watch Corridor Crew on YouTube. They are phenomenal at breaking down like CGI and effects because that's their business. Yeah. And they're like apparently the water graphics you can't tell what's real and what's not.
Interesting.
That's how amazing that is. But that was the only truly groundbreaking thing of Avatar 2.
I would, what ifs? Give me a star-studded cast. How much does that change the legacy of that movie?
Again, like I said, I don't think it changes it as much. It maybe boosts it a little bit more.
I think it depends on who it is. It's kind of like how now a lot of people will say who are into movies will say like there's not any movie stars anymore.
Right.
Because but back in the day you would see a movie. If I was a fan of Bruce Willis, I would see any Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
sure,
100%.
So now it's like, okay, if I were to have Avatar, but I throw in like Tom Cruise, would that change?
Well, maybe not Tom Cruise, but I don't know. Depending on the actor, if I see a DiCaprio movie, I'm like, he'll probably do pretty good.
Yeah,
because he's only hit home runs.
Yeah, because he's only hitting bangers. Yeah.
What is his name? Matt Damon even when he put
Yeah,
the movie
Matt Damon at his
half
peak.
of, like 80% of the time it's a killer.
Right.
Oh, the Bourne trilogy is a great one. Now, is it as like
That's
all timer
that's
as like
older,
trilogy?
though,
Yeah, but Bourne
forgot
trilogy.
about that one.
Okay, you could argue Bourne trilogy
I
for up
forgot
there
about
too.
that.
I
Yeah.
love Bourne trilogy. Like,
I love it's one of my all time like if I can sit through a movie, I love that movie.
There you
so
go.
which one of the three is your favorite?
I do like the first one, but it's just because I feel like they did such a good job at the spy thing.
Yeah.
And that was the first spy movie. I was like, okay, this is actually a good movie.
Well, and that's
I really like Supremacy.
because it's like the whole amnesia thing was done perfectly
Perfectly.
with that one.
You gotta get
and-
Moby.
Yes,
It's
and
really-
Best
Moby.
soundtrack ever.
Yeah.
I had one of my best friend growing up. That was his ringtone for the longest time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and it really was. Matt Damon played that lost character so well.
Yes.
Like you really thought he was completely lost the whole movie.
And he committed to like the actual choreography of the fighting.
Yeah.
That was where there's a couple different like critique films I watch, and they use the Bournes as the peak of like how you should shoot fight scenes
choreography.
because it's one long take
Yeah.
for a fight scene versus all nowadays it's doom chop chop
Yeah,
doom
exactly.
chop cut whatever, throw somebody out the window, you cut to you know whatever,
Right.
whereas that is a beautifully choreographed scene of start to finish. Everybody's committing to the bit. You don't have to, and it's all of them doing their own stunts. He's doing all of his own choreography, so you don't have to worry about flashing. Can't show his face, can't show this angle or that.
And it was just really well done. That when that dude breaks through the window and they fight in the office.
Oh,
that as far as
crazy.
a fight scene goes, my favorite fight scene.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like
And the grossness of him pulling that pin out, bro.
I don't even count Legacy.
gives me
Like
the-
Legacy, if
No,
it wasn't
it
a
doesn't
Bourne
count.
movie, was good.
Which is the same because
But it wasn't. It's not a Bourne movie. It's
Yeah.
Bourne Legacy.
But you want your star power? That's your what's his face? Arrow. Not Arrow. Hawkeye. Yeah.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
Yeah, because he
And-
was the Legacy.
Yeah.
Oh,
His legacy. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember.
Because
him coming
I
out the
get it.
window.
Like Matt Damon, something happened where he didn't come back, and so they're like, we still want to bank off the Bourne name, but now it's a Legacy because now it's in the universe, but he's a different agent.
Yeah.
So it just got too confusing.
Which at the
You're
very
like, oh,
least,
you're
at
like,
least
this
that was
isn't
set
Jason
up
Bourne.
early.
The same.
Yeah.
But so at least they didn't just break like everything to fix it, but it still didn't work.
Yeah, and then they tried to retcon that one with another Jason Bourne, and it was just called Jason Bourne,
It's not the
and it
same.
wasn't the same. You're like,
Right.
it's just
Really
not.
isn't the
Yeah.
So I just stop it through. I'm like,
Oh,
1, 2,
for
3,
sure.
we're done. 1,
Absolutely.
2, 3, done. We're done.
So.
So I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Is that a
Well, let us know.
fun wrap?
Comment favorite trilogies,
Yeah.
top fives, everything else we said.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Titanic. Would you go see? Would you put? Does star power matter in film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Or
curious.
like what? Yeah.
Somehow.
What are your
Yeah.
qualifications to classify
Yeah.
what's your favorite movie?
Yeah.
What gets you? Because it's like, what will get you to see a movie? Is it the cast will get you to see the movie, and then
Right.
the longevity is the story? Maybe. Like if
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
If, it's,
That's a good call. Yeah.
if you go see a movie because of these people, like I will continue to watch it because it's going to be
Right.
so
Yeah.
good.
So.
Yeah.
Let
Let us know down below, guys.
All right.
See
Thank
you
you.
later.
Check out our socials. Peace.
Peace.